This is Casper and you're watching the Chat with Chaps live show.
Good evening and welcome to the Chat with Chaps live show. I'm your host, Joe Zampa. I love putting that one on when we get a decent win. And before we get going, please make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. As you know, every penny we make goes to Cancer Research UK. And you can do your bit simply by liking and subscribing to the channel. So if you haven't done that, please do that now. Make sure you hit that like button. Before I introduce you to our fantastic panel, I want to say a huge thank you to Dennis Hill. So Dennis met with Chris and Chris's other half at the Executive Lounge on Saturday. Just wanted to thank him for for we'd sort of do here for charity, and he actually handed over a cheque of £250. A very kind donation there from Dennis. So thank you so much. That's all been added into the charity fund. So from Chris and from all of us, we'll say a massive thank you, Dennis. You're an absolute star. Thank you very much. Also, very quick hellos. Bumped into Steve outside the Blue Bus on Saturday. He managed to something as I was going through, just said him and his old man, we watched us for quite some time. Really does appreciate everything we do. So again, I really appreciate you, Steve, for all your kind words, and thank you so much. And also bumped into Dan, aka the Awful Gambler. So lovely to meet you also on Saturday. And hearing your stories, man, I don't think you're an awful gambler. Going to tournaments in Las Vegas and all that sort of jazz. You're not doing too badly, mate. So thank you for meeting and saying hello. So really kind. Now, guys, back in the house, the one and only. He's been out for a little while, but he's back again. Is Disco Steve? Hey, Disco, you good?
I'm fantastic, Joe. What else could I be right now? It's great time to be a Millwall fan and great time to be part of Chat with Chaps. So looking forward to tonight.
Excellent. You got your nice sort of vibe going on at the moment, and you've got the soft scented candles in the background, I bet, have you?
I've tried some mood lighting. Is it working, or do I need a spotlight on? I don't know whether it's working or not.
Well, let the listeners be the judge of that in the chat, and also the one and only Stato Stephen with all the stats. How you doing, Stephen? You good?
Yeah, very good. As Disco said, it's a great time to be a Millwall fan, and it's my first show sharing the screen with someone I share the programme with. So I thought I'd get that
other half, isn't it?
I thought I'd get that in early because I'm sure someone's bound to pick up on it. So
and we look
it's
a lot
really
different
good
now.
Well, I've lost about 3.5 stone, so I'm people won't recognise me. But no, it's great to be a Millwall fan. It's great to be on. You talking to anybody associated with the club, and everyone's in a great mood. They're in good spirits. It's just a great time to be here.
Brilliant. Cheers, Stato. And last but certainly not least, making it 3 caps in a row is the one and only Bex. How you doing, Bex? You good?
Yeah, I'm great. Like the guys said, it's like a great time to be a Millwall fan. It's like a great time to be alive, sort of thing. Yeah, I'm just like floating. Like every week, I feel like I'm just going, I'm floating. It's amazing. I'm just on top of the world with these results. Yeah.
I'll say to you earlier, it feels like being a commentary fan. You know what they're feeling like, ain't you? Winning every week.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
But
there's not many goals, but we're there, aren't we?
Yeah, and thanks for having me back 3 times on the bounce.
Yeah, no, good to have you back. Good to have you back. So let's go to the listeners now, guys. I've been waiting there patiently, so I'll say a quick hello to you guys. Massive deep breath here. So here we go. So first of all, Darren from Mill Museum, how are you doing, mate? Hope you're well, mate. And the one only John MFC, another £10 donation. Evening all from Mozzie infested Lago Jardine. Off for a Chinese to catch up tomorrow. I think that's in Spain, isn't it, Disco?
I've not heard of it.
I think he went to Spain. He was going off to Spain or boarding the flight when we was last.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, yeah, I tell you, he does get.
He's always abroad, isn't he? I know that.
He does. I tell you what, he must be the most expensive paid chef in the whole of England. I tell you, that holiday did go. But John, hope you and the family well, mate. And good to have you on. Hope you'll catch up tomorrow and listen back to this show. Right, here we go. So, big deep breath. Craig Jones, how you doing, Craig? Carl Bracey, how are you? Evening. Chris Brown, Biggie in the house. Good evening, ladies and gents. Andrew Roberts, good to see you. Hello, Tommy. Hello, Jeff. Floki's here as well. George, Andrew Roberts. Monica, is that Mumsy, is it?
Monica is. Jones? It is.
Yeah. How you doing, Mummy Jones? Loads of messages coming through. I'm not going to be able to read all your messages, guys. There's loads of people coming through. PS94, yay, Stephen. The awful gambler, there he is. Sam, Dayturner, Foldsy, Jesper, how are you? Make sure you check this goes audio. Says, I did, mate. Don't worry. I almost gave him a heart attack at the start, didn't I?
It's working so far.
Exactly. Off to Basingstoke tonight. Alex, good to see you, mate. Bang on time. There you go. Andrew Robbs, Andy Herbert, how are you, mate? BT, good to see you. Kay, good to see you. Mark Murphy, there you go. Lions Raw, good to have you on, mate. Callum, good to see you. Chat with Chaps. Thank you, Dennis. There you go, Chris. Thanks for that, mate. Lee Joy, T Money. Right, loads of you guys coming through. I'm going to have to go through these really quickly. Bobby T, I think it's Bobby T. Good to have your house. There you go. Disco for Carl Bracey. Right, there's loads of you in there, guys. Great to meet you, and Dan, thanks, mate. George. Good, Jonathan. Right, I think we're there, guys. So apologies if I missed a few, but every week I'm sure we're adding an extra 10 people to our live. It's 137 of you in there already, which is unbelievable. But thank you. So how are you, Robbo? Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're good, Des. There you go. Ben the Beaver just got in before the door shuts, and Borg Elite. There you go. Fantastic. So, guys. Just want to say a massive thank you to our sponsor, Spectrum VR. Cheers for that, Stato. Thank you for your kind sponsorship. Make sure you connect to these guys. And we're going to go back to our panel. So first of all, Stato, I'm going to start with you first, mate. Saturday, Millwall 1, Leicester 0. Another Femi Aziz goal with the winner. Talk us through that one, mate.
I think we played well. I think we were made to work hard for 3 points, but I think Saturday was everything that you'd kind of want from us, apart from obviously the penalty miss. There was effort, determination, solid at the back, defenders going above and beyond, with their performances, some good football. I think Disco might come on to that when he's sort of later when he was talking about watching the game back. But a good goal, a player banging form. I keep saying, and anyone that will listen that's not associated with Millwall, that we've probably got the best player in the league at the moment on form. That it's just a joy to watch us. The crowd I thought was pretty good. We were talking off air about not really having anything to moan about as Millwall fans, which is quite a funny thing to say, but Saturday was awesome, and it's just one thing I would say that, and I get people's perspective, and I understand that sometimes people are getting frustrated with at the start of the season. We are absolutely flying now, and I think it's only just the beginning.
Fantastic. Cheers for that, Stato. And coming to you next, Bex, what's your thoughts on the game? Obviously, we'll go through the analysis, we'll talk about the players individually, but just as a result and performance, what did you make of that?
Oh, yeah, again, just come away feeling just on top of the world with it all. I went in not thinking we were going to get anything from it, to be fair, although I was like, maybe we'll get that 2-1 like I predicted, but kind of still went in feeling quite nervous. But as the game kind of progressed, I thought, oh my God, actually, we're going to get something out of this. And we did. And to come away feeling like, actually, we've got four wins on the bounce. Just, it's an odd feeling, like we were saying again, like when we was off air, that really weird feeling of knowing that we've won 4 games and what's to come. Like, we just don't know what's to come. And yes, we don't want to get carried away, but it's hard not to get carried away. So yeah, I was buzzing again on Saturday. Come home, had a little bit of a drink and celebrated. So literally, I'm on top of the world with it.
Brilliant, brilliant. And coming to yourself, Disco, as Stato and Beck says, it's hard to not get carried away, especially when we're sitting pretty third in the league at the moment. And there's so many big teams below us at the moment that are struggling, like so Sheffield United, Norwich, and a few others. We're sitting in a really good position, probably one of our highest positions at this stage of season for long as I can remember, probably ever in the Championship in the last sort of 8-9 years. What did you make of that performance?
Well, I'm slightly different to the other guys, to be honest, Joe. I'm not having it. I'm a bit sick of not seeing long balls, not passing to each other, shooting, way over the bar, never creating any chances. This stuff's a bit dull now, isn't it? Fast passing and moving, keeping the ball, looking
out from the bloody back,
putting some skills in.
Scoring goals. What the hell is all this shit about? I just can't be doing with it. But look, Beck's nailed it. Let's not get carried away. And people have said it in the chat. But actually, why shouldn't we get carried away? It's an absolute pleasure to watch the team at the moment. And I'll put the emphasis on that. It's a real team effort. I know there's individuals playing really, really well, Aziz particularly, which we'll come on to. But as a team, wow, they are really gelling. And let's not forget, we have changed system as well. We started the season with 2 up top, part by injuries, but part by, I think, there was a recognition it wasn't quite working. And we've changed system, and what a transformation since the Coventry game, where I don't think we was as bad as some people thought, but 4-0's 4-0. But it's been an absolute pleasure. And Saturday was fantastic, really good win. And look, it's always on edge, isn't it? 1 goal in it, and you're nervous, are they going to get a late equaliser? But actually, watch it back. We were pretty comfortable all the way through that second half. We were very comfortable and really should have put the game to bed as well. So it's a good solid time. Yeah, let's keep our feet on the ground, but let's be positive that we've got something special going on here.
That's an interesting point of Disco. You're right. I mean, it's not many times you're 1-0 up and you're literally so nervous, wait for that final whistle. It felt like we were in control, didn't we? And I think you look at their XG, I think we're like 1.6. They were like 0.3, I think it was. So they didn't really hurt us or really cause us many problems. A couple of long range misses, if you like, But it was a fairly kind of professional performance, both defensively and offensively. So let's dissect it a little bit, guys. Let's talk about the actual performance of the team. So what I've done here, I've just brought up a very quick screenshot of our player performance. If I could just try and bring it up. This is from Fotmo. I'm not sure if you can see that, guys, at home. I'm just going to switch you guys to one side so you can get that across. So you can see the performance there. You've got Crocombe there, 7.7. Leonard, 7 points. What are you laughing at? 7.7 for Leonard.
I like the Italian version, Joe. It's good.
Crocombe, yeah. Leonard, 7.7. You got Cramos, 7.5. Cooper, 7.2. Sturge, 7.2. Delboy, 7.2. Casper got 8.3. And then you got Aziz there, 8.8. Connell got 7.8. Sorry, 6.9. A 7 for Ballo if you're Angelo. And a 6 for Ivanovic. Quite disappointing. We'll talk about Ivanovic in a minute. But let's start from the from the top, from the defence, goalkeeper, defence, midfield, attack, as always. I will start with yourself, Bex, this time. Crocombe, in goal now. It's his third game, I think, in goal now. That poll we did recently picked up 96% of the vote for Mill fans picking Crocombe over Bender in goal at the moment. I mean, they seem to sort of got that one right, and I think he looks pretty good in a goal there, didn't he? What do you make of his performance on that?
Yeah, I'll eat my words and say, he's doing amazing. Over Bender. Saturday, do you know what? I think he done really well. To be fair, I don't think he had a huge amount to do, but when he did have things to do, he put himself out and proved why he should be there. I think there was that bit near the end where the sun was kind of coming across. That kind of made me a little bit nervy across the goal, and they had their a couple
corners and stuff.
Corners. And I was like, oh, is this where they're going to get that goal in? But they didn't. What was that? Fatowo? Is that the guy there?
Yeah,
winger.
Fatawi.
Fatawi, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of emphasis on obviously his ability to get the goals in, and I think something I heard was, if he gets that first goal, like game's done, they're winning, it's over. But actually, do you know what? He didn't even really try, Max, to be honest with you. I thought his efforts were pretty poor, to be fair. Gary weren't in our team that day. But Max, I think to be fair, I think Max is I think he's going to hold that space. I don't think Bender, to be honest with you, if he continues, I don't think Bender's got a hope in hell chance to get back in. I'm loving him in the goal, and I love his passion. Like we said about that in the cup games, he was really showing that that enthusiasm, that passion of being in the goal, and he's continuing to show that. And I think he kind of said at the end as well that the togetherness, and we've got players that will make damage, and kind of the ability to do the job, and that gives him the confidence in that goal to not have to worry as much. Yeah, I'm loving him. I'm loving watching him.
Excellent.
Can I just
sorry, Joe, can I just jump on the back of that on Crocombe? And this is the biggest compliment I think that I can give him, to come into a side, and I think our defenders have more confidence in him than what they did in Stephen Bender. And you can see it. You can clearly see it. There was one kick in the second half where Crocombe it fizzed along the floor and it was a bit nervy. But outside of that, they're happy to give him the ball back in awkward positions. Yeah. They're happy to communicate with him and kind of listen to him and take on board what he's saying from the back. I don't think you always get that from Stephen Bender. And that's the biggest thing for me. If your back four have got confidence in your goalkeeper, you start on the front foot. If you don't have confidence in your goalkeeper, it's an obvious thing, but you're on the back foot. And I think that's the biggest difference that I've seen between Crocombe and Bender.
Can I just agree with that? I think that was really evident in that first match, how much they were talking. You could see it. You could see the confidence in the back four, that they were talking, and they were talking with each other's more as well. You could see the four of them talking, whereas before it seemed a little bit disjointed. But I think Max, like you said, since he's been in, that communication between all of them has been really evident. I think it was really evident from that first game that the confidence was just sky high with them all.
Yeah, all very, very good and interesting points there, guys. Thanks for that. Disco, coming to yourself, we could probably touch on Crocombe and maybe cover the defensive four as well while we're at it.
Yeah. Look, happy to talk about Crocombe firstly. Look, there's a key word coming up in the chat and in general conversations. He's a very calming influence, isn't he? There's just something about him that resonates, calmness, and no hassle, he's not on edge, which sadly Bender did have that sort of in his locker, didn't he? Where he looked a little bit on edge, and he put fans and probably the defence on edge. However, I do want to balance. I don't really want to throw Bender totally under the bus. I really don't think he's as bad as a lot are saying. Crocombe is first choice, 100%. Bender, great shot stopper, clearly showing his inexperience at this level and has still got a lot to learn. So I wouldn't want to throw him under the bus. And look, we never know with injuries and stuff. He could be back in at any given point. But let's be honest, Crocombe shouldn't be giving that shirt up. Yeah, and I don't know, is Bender fit again yet? Do we know?
No.
No. So he's not fit anyway.
Yes, no.
International break, Disco.
Right. So look, you'd like to think it is because Alex believes Crocombe is the better option, and I would imagine it is, but you never know. Bender was certainly his first choice before that. But look, really, what a somebody, I think it was you, Stephen, mentioned earlier. Jesper in our chat earlier. You remember when we signed Frankie Fielding and Bart? Fielding was supposed to be first choice. Got injured in the first match. Bart came in. And we never looked back, and it's a similar sort of situation in a way, isn't it? Christ, if he achieves half of what Bart did, then we're in really safe hands. Excuse the pun. But yeah, very, 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 very happy with him as keeper. Look, not the world's best. I'm not going to dig him out, but he's not really been tested yet. But what he has had to do, he's done really, really well with early saves. commanding his box, etc., etc. So I think we're all, crikey Joe, what a vote that is, a poll. 96%, you know, saying
it's a landslide, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's no debate, isn't it? You know, so yeah, we're all in agreement there. In terms of back four, again, blimey, just going from strength to strength. Dare I say his name without a certain person getting overexcited? But Tristan,
I don't know what you're going on about.
Yeah, are we Kramer or Kramer?
I always say Kramer.
Kramer, you like Kramer, right?
Yeah.
We'll go Kramer.
Yeah.
Some say Kramer, some say Kramer. So, I think it's Kramer.
It sounds more French, doesn't it, saying Kramer?
It sounds more sexy, not that
Kramer.
actually needs anything more to make it sexy. But look, what a star he's turning into. I thought he was fantastic on Saturday, getting in the right position. His commitment, his energy, his speed. He's good on the ball, great passing. There was one pass he put out to Aziz in the first half that Carl was waxing lyrical about on the commentary, you know, and rightly so. So he is. And we used to talk about Tanganga being a Rolls Royce. Kramer is Rolls Royce, 100%. And really pleasing along with that. It's really bringing out the best in Jake, who was, for me, hasn't been again as bad as some people have suggested. But I think he's had he's just stepped up and looked really solid these last 2 or 3 games. Also passing the ball around very nicely as well. And the thing with the passing around the back, it doesn't make you nervous, does it? You know, in times gone by, I've been like, oh Christ, get it bleeding up, get it up the wings, you know, or hoof it up front, you know. But you feel quite comfortable with them passing it around but with a purpose, not just passing it backwards and forwards. So that's clicking together. Look, Lenny, a lot of people writing Lenny off again. I thought he was outstanding on Saturday. He really had Fatawu and Monga before that in his pocket, and the obligatory slide tackle at the end that really got all the fans up for the last 5 minutes was fantastic. So really pleased for Lenny, and he's doing a great job. And the change in formation and tactics is clearly helping him, allowing him to defend more. Although he is getting forward in fairness as well, isn't he? You know, really good. And Sturge, you know, I still think it's still quite raw. But you've got to give the guy his due. You know, he's doing a great job defensively and attacking wise. He looks a real player. And let's be honest, he's only going to get better and better. So look, back 5. Wow, really solid. And what's that? 3 clean sheets in the last 4, something like that. Am I right? Yeah, something like that. So that speaks its own story. And continuity. Alex has mentioned that, hasn't he? That I've got a settled side, and there's probably some we think might need a little bit of a rest. But look, there's that danger of breaking up a really solid partnerships as such and team effort. So very happy with the back 5.
Nice one. Cheers for that, Disco. And then Stato, I know you covered off Crocombe already in goal. Just a word of our back 4 on Saturday. I thought they played fantastic. The stats and the ratings show that as well. And they all just seem to kind of gel very well at the moment, don't they?
I'm not having that someone looked at that game and Ryan Leonard only got a 7.7. I'm sorry, but I guess
if Connor got a 7.5.
No. Ryan, honestly, he's someone that, and don't get me wrong, I do think that there are times where his legs do look not necessarily Saturday, but just in general, he is slowly becoming a little bit, his legs going a little bit. But on Saturday, he was phenomenal. And I tweeted this the other day. How often do we see Leonard put in one of those big booming tackles in injury time? His engine is just phenomenal. He's a proper Millwall player. I know some people might want to take that away from us a little bit. We're going with this fancy route and changing from the old school way, but he's a proper Millwall player, for outstanding. I just wish that when he goes forward a little bit. Well?
So go on, Karen.
I just wish when he goes forward, just to be that final ball just a little bit better. I mean, it'd be superb if it was, but excellent. But I'll come back to the other defenders if you want to.
Yeah.
There,
Just sort of dissecting this one. So I don't know if you guys in the chat watch back Anjo's analysis. He's been doing that quite frequently in the last few weeks now. It's really, really good. And one of the things he picked up was at the end when a mark had come off, it was like 95th, 96th minute, and they broke down our left-hand side, their right, and a cross came in. And Mark was jogging with this player, didn't really sprint or stop him. They put the cross in. What I love was the reaction, not just from Crammer, more so from Leonard, when he actually ripped into Mark. He come from the right back position, straight over, literally shouting at him, screaming at him why he didn't sprint harder to stop that cross from coming in. And that kind of, that desire, that determination, that Millwallness, that seems like a bit of a dying breed sometimes when we look at the players we've got and a lot of new players we've got. And the likes of Cooper, the likes of Leonard, the likes of Billy Mitchell, Danny McNamara. There's very, very few of these players left now. I think the only one you could argue that's becoming that is like a Casper who's been there a few years now, and he's becoming a Millwall kind of player. He kind of gets it. He understands what it's like, and all these new players are starting to learn what it's about being a Millwall player. But I just love Leonard's reaction. I just had to mention that because you talked about Leonard just then about how well he's playing, and I think that is also so vitally important why he's in the team, because he gets it and he knows how important it is, for us to sort of be on our game.
Joe, there was only one thing better than Leonard's reaction, and Kramer had a little go at him as well. But was Angelo's reaction? He was absolutely furious. He was going mad and screaming.
I've never seen Angelo that high rate. Like literally, I thought he was going to smash his laptop up as he was talking about that bit, weren't he?
Italian
unbelievable
passion came. But he was right. What a great spot! What a great spot!
And again, guys, if you don't watch Andrew's analysis on the Chat with Chaps YouTube, make sure you watch it. So obviously, Chris does his normal post-match analysis, and Angelo looks for kind of like areas of where we could improve on, mistakes, good parts. So again, they both go really well together. Sorry, carry on, Max. You're at Leonard. We still got to touch on Crammer.
Yeah, I mean, Crammer, Rolls Royce, it's just phenomenal. Again, it's not obviously he has to put in the level of performance, but our recruitment and the policy that they have to take credit for that, because he was brought in last January. He was bedded into the side. He was introduced to the club. Okay, maybe at right back and not a centre back to begin with, but he gets us. He gets what it means to play for us already. And that's because they did it the right way. They knew Tanganga was going to go. It was obvious he was going to go. So that's a brilliant piece of business. And we all know how good he is. You got to remember as well that he's on Brentford's book. Brentford's recruitment over the last 10 years has been superb. They're not going to have players that are not any good. Do you know what I mean? That they are going to have something about them. And it's clear that he's an excellent find. And the other two, Jake Cooper, again, I've said this plenty of times. There's moments where you think he might be coming to the end, but if you watch the game back and also at QPR, every cross that comes into our box, Jake Cooper is winning 95% of them. He is there every time, and he gets a bit of a rough ride, and I do sometimes can see that it looks like there might be a little bit of a mistake in him, but he's captain, he's stepping up, his record in terms of appearance is phenomenal, and I think sometimes we might need to give him a little bit more credit, and I think you said it earlier, Joe, Zach Sturge, I think has come in this year to learn from Joe Bryan and eventually basically take his shirt, and I think he's already done it, because he's just been up and down. I think defensively sometimes he's a little bit naive, but that's an age thing, that's an experience thing. A couple of times he goes in and you think, if you'd have stayed on your feet a little bit, but overall, a very good left back. He's also got a really, really good understanding with Ballo down that left-hand side. They work hard for each other, and they link up very well. And there's no coincidence that we look a threat down that side. So back five, including Crocombe, very, very good. Look, 3 clean sheets out of 4, and in the other game we only conceded 1, and that was sort of a tap-in because it might have been offside. So excellent.
Brilliant. Cheers for that, Stato. Beck, sorry that it's taking so long to get around to you. There's a lot to discuss on that one, but we are.
I think they said it all, weren't they?
I think they have, but I'm sure there's some things that you want to add to that as well. Also, there was one of the guys in the chat mentioned about the yellow card situation, didn't they, as well? So I can't remember who that was. Was that
Harry Chapman? I think it was.
Yeah. What did he say? Just for those
For Lenny and Coops, both on 4.
Right. Okay.
For
so
yellow,
that's interesting.
Sitting on dodgy ground there.
So
exactly.
Is it 5 or 6 before a certain point?
5, isn't it?
5. Yeah, I think it is 5, and it's a 1-game suspension, isn't it? I think from memory.
Yeah, so
I'm
they're
pretty sure of it is.
that, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
really good point.
So, Bex, we obviously covered Croker last time. I want to sort of just talk through that back four very, very quickly. If you could skip through Crammer as quickly as you can.
Moving on. So both Jake and Crammer again at the back. I think that they're linking up, and their ability to work together, I think, is just improving every week. Jake had a little bit of a wobbly moment where he gave that ball away, but I think other than that, he done amazing. Like Stephen said, he's really kind of proven himself, I think, week in, week out now. So happy with him. Zach Sturge as well. Similar, yes, he's got that little bit of naivety, but I think that is with that it's that youngster in him, isn't it? He's not got that full experience. But again, he's improving, I think, week in, week out. And I said it the other week as well, that I don't think Joe's going to be too disappointed if he has to give that shirt up. But I think Joe is kind of behind him in terms of that on the training pitch. I think he's probably giving that experience to him and telling him how to potentially play it. And then Lenny on the other side, I just think he's phenomenal at the minute. I just love his passion and just the tackles that he puts in. And I enjoy watching him, and I love it when he puts them tackles in, and I love it if he doesn't get a card. It's even better. So
just on that. On the card bit, I did have a look. It's only Jake Cooper that's on 4. Ryan Leonard's actually on 3. So, but Coops that could be an issue. I know Taylor can come in, but that's when the continuity piece that we touched on earlier, that if you lose one of them, how much of an impact is that going to have? But it is only Jake Cooper.
On Alex's point there, Stato, when does that reset then? Because I think there's a period. Is it Christmas or is it sooner than that when it now resets again? I think there is a period in there in the season.
I believe it's halfway through the season, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But I think I'm pretty sure in the Premier League. I know in the Premier League it's usually, I'm sure, after the 19th game. So on that logic, I will try and find that out. But on that logic, it would be we're still quite a way off of that. Off of that.
That's true. One of the mentioned, I think it was Big E, said, "Is Crocombe ours? Is he on loan?" We got options to sign him, and then I just seen your response there. Sorry, Disco. That Crocombe signed. I think he did sign Big E on a 1-year deal, didn't he?
He was a free agent, wasn't he?
As a free agent,
and left Burton. Great signing, yeah.
Oh, great bit of business. I mean, he's looked excellent. I mean, you do wonder how he's not played at a high level. You know, playing for Burton. Was he playing for Burton last few years and stuff? And without a club, technically, had we not signed him as well. So, great little still that one.
Sorry, just add something in. Sorry, it's going back to Crammer. It's just something I noticed Alex MFC said regarding, obviously, Crammer's attitude and reaction since the mistake against Coventry. I think he's right in saying that it has been excellent, because that could have really made him or broken him. And he kind of took it, turned it around, and has come back and proved that actually that's why he shouldn't have been dropped. Because I think a lot of people were like, he should have been dropped. No, why is he in the squad the next game? And actually, he's kind of taken it, turned it around, and really gone for it. And I think that's a really good point to kind of bring up.
You know what? That's an interesting point that is, because up until that point, I thought Crammer was a machine, a robot, can't do anything wrong. It's a bit like if you watch Rocky 4 and then Rocky catches Ivan Drago over left hook and cuts him, and his boss, his called man says, See, he is human. He is human. He bleeds too. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's it.
am I getting a bit carried away here? I don't know. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm
but
thinking,
it's a good analogy because actually
Yeah.
we all saw him as that guy that didn't make
Yeah,
mistakes, and
I
then he
can't
made
do
a
no
mistake,
wrong.
and everyone was like, "Hang on a minute, who's this guy?"
Exactly.
And it was one
you know,
mistake,
absolutely.
and he took it and went with it.
Exactly. And I thought at that point, I was nervous for him. I thought, oh my God, is this going to affect him going forward? Is he got a couple more mistakes in his locker? But to your point, at Alex's point, his attitude's been absolutely spot on. Since then, he's upped his game even more.
He's gone like that.
Just when you think you can't up it anymore, he's gone like that when he could have gone.
He's like, every week I'll take something out of my locker and just show him what I can do.
Exactly. I'll give you a bit more, just get you a bit more excited, you know.
Sorry, a bit of an excuse to just talk about him a bit longer there.
I know.
Joe, just FYI, so yellow cards reset after the 19th match day in the championship, so it is the same. So we are on match day. So this weekend, I believe, is match day 13.
Okay.
So Cooper will have to go 7 games without getting a card to not be suspended.
Early December, is that roughly?
Yeah, well, we play 6 games in November. So realistically, that'll be it. But the other thing I would say to that is, and I know that it's a stat that people look at and it's something that does pick up, but you have to take into consideration that you can't change the way that you play. If he's going to make a tackle, he's going to make a tackle. If we're going to lose him for a game, you know, that's going to happen. We've already lost players to injury.
So is this Craig guy related to you? Is it Craig Jones? Are all Jones like just statos? Like, is it in a championship? for a 1 match ban, they receive 5 yellow cards for the 19th match of the season, which is what you said. And
no,
I'm sure he's not your twin brother. Craig, are you Stato's twin brother?
He's not a relation. He's not a relation. Although, Joe, I think he might have played he might be one of the lads that played in the over 40s game with you.
Oh, that's that Craig Jones. Yeah, of course it is. I thought I might change his handle.
Just to clarify, the over 40s game that Joe
played. Just barely over 40s. Literally
no ageism on here, Stephen. Thank you. You're outnumbered.
Exactly.
I was going to say I am outnumbered here. I just shut up.
I didn't think Bex was actually. So she's
just dead on.
There. Oh well, congratulations.
Right now, I'm going to start with Bex on this one. We've covered our goalkeepers, covered our defenders. We now want to talk about our midfielders. So Del Boy, I think it's his second game he's starting a trot now. You know, I know Billy Mitchell was unwell last week and he was kind of fit to play, probably not quite fit to start. And Alex Neil showed faith in Del Boy and starting him again. What did you make of his performance? And I guess his last 2 performances, do you see him being a regular feature in the team now that Billy Mitchell is back?
Yeah, I genuinely do. I think Billy's going to probably have a bit of a tough play on his hands to get back in, to be honest with you. He, again, I think he just come in and he got the job done. Like, he just got on with it. He was just there. Like, I was a little bit taken back by how he actually played. I didn't expect him to do as well as he did. I was expecting Billy to be back in the team, to be fair. Like, he just kind of done that little bit of cover. We'll get Billy back in, be back to normal service. But actually, he come in and the linking up between him and Casper in the middle, Ballo, he was just everywhere. Like, do you not think he just seemed to be like a bit all over the place? I was highly impressed with him.
Chris mentioned his post-match analysis, didn't he, Bex, where he said, he's unique, that we haven't got a player that's got a ball that can, you know, go past a player in midfield and drive with it and have that bit of pace and dribbling skills, if you like, as well. It's unusual, you know. Yeah,
no, I was pretty happy. Come away going, do you know what? I like to see a bit more of him. I think that's what I found. Like when we saw him in the previous match, it was like, okay, I quite like him, but whether we're going to see him again. And then we got to see him again, and actually now I just want to see more. I just want to keep kind of picking. Bit like when we had Zach in the team, Ballo. I just feel like I just want to keep seeing more. I just want that little bit extra, and
Yeah.
he's definitely got it. But no, do you know what? I was really excited by the way.
Last time you said that, you talked about Christian Kramer, weren't you? But for other reasons, want to see more. But coming to yourself next, Disco, Del Boy. I mean, it's interesting that he struck up this partnership with Casper now. I mean, he doesn't speak any English. Casper is Dutch, but he does speak French as well, doesn't he? So the two of them, you do wonder, do they communicate in French a lot during the pitches, during the game? Does that kind of help, maybe, do you think, in their relationship?
I don't think we need to keep saying he can't speak any English, Joe. As you've proven, anybody can speak any language. I can speak
Italian fluently when I want to. I might get my vases and my wrong way around, but yeah.
I hope Del Boy doesn't get his vases wrong. But
no,
look, I can't play him any bigger compliment than Billy, who's been playing really well this season, to come back from an illness, not an injury, and he didn't displace him. He maintained his place, and not being wise after the event. I thought he may come back in, Billy, but I actually thought the way Alex waxed lyrical about him in the Stoke game, I thought he might keep him in here, because you've got to be a little bit, haven't you, that hang on, you play really well, you deserve your place, and then it's up to the the subs to try and take the place off you. So I think it's his to lose at the minute. And again, another good performance. He's very athletic, as we've said, isn't he? Gets a tackle in. He's clever, but I think it's his innocence, if you like, of youth a little bit. But he does a little bit of dirty stuff, but he doesn't look like a dirty player. He gets his foot in, and he'll get a little niggle in.
It's what you call an old head on young shoulders, isn't he? Like, he's very wise to it, very quick. Also, sorry, I interrupted, Disco. Ben DeViva, apologies. I don't know why I said Dutch.
You're going to get it in the neck for that. You are going to get it in the neck for that. Your phone's going to be going off.
I just hope his old man ain't watching. But his missus is Dutch, and they've got this Dutch affiliation. But he's actually Belgium, so he's Flemish. But they understand, they can speak French, and he's learning French and all that stuff. So yeah, Ben DeViva, cheers for putting me right there. Completely messed up there. Sorry, Disco, but yeah, he's been a revelation, isn't he?
I really do. I like the guy. Athletic, energetic. He puts a tackle in. I like it. He has a little step over or two as well, doesn't he? He's got a box of tricks. The guy's only going to get better and better. And again, what a bloody, in fairness, what a signing. I was hoping he was a signing to go into the first team squad rather than another development player, which has proved. I didn't necessarily expect him to be a starter, and he's worth his place. And I could say, I can't see how, and I rate Billy very highly, can't see how he gets in on Saturday after these last two performances. So look, after losing Massimo, how great is it that Del Boy's stepped up and said, look, no gap here. We've still got strength in depth, which is fantastic.
It's been brilliant, been excellent. And then Stato, to come to yourself with regards to Del Boy, just what do you make of his performances last two games? And is he deserving his position starting games ahead of Billy or Casper for that matter?
I'm going to apologise to Bex first before I say what I'm about to say, because I think he might be the greatest export that's come out of France ever. Is that purely on the financial reasons?
Really badly, that.
He is at Palace.
Shots
when
we say.
At Palace, when he was named in the team, you sort of thought. I actually thought to begin with a little bit sorry for him, because you're thinking he's been given a bit of a rough end here. He's coming in against Premier League side. You had a lot of pressure on him, and I thought he was excellent that night, and I thought he deserved to get a game in the Championship. We talk about the goalkeeper position, and injury has got Crocombe in, and Crocombe's taken his chance. Well, injuries have got Derek in, and he's the midfielder we have been like craving, that strong ball carrying midfielder that okay, I don't think we haven't seen much of him maybe in an attacking threat, or we don't know if he's got a goal in him or two, but someone that can drive you up the pitch, that is going to put himself about a little bit, much like I said about Zach Sturge. There is a little bit of naivety sometimes. I think sometimes he does get a little bit caught out, but that's his age, that's experience. He's playing at the highest level of football. Way above. No disrespect to the French second division, but the top of the championship is a step above. Let's be honest. But he's just superb. And the biggest compliment you can give our three midfielders is whether it's Billy and Casper and Derek, or Derek and Billy. You'd feel confident with either of those two
100%.
in the middle. It don't matter which two it is. So absolutely superb. And he, like Disco said, he's a big guy. He's a unit, but he will pull out tricks and flicks. And sometimes there's a time and a place. If you're in the attacking third, it's not too bad. I'd love to see him get a goal. I feel like that would be a really good icing on a good start to his career. But superb. Love the guy. And let's be honest, he's become a cult hero already, isn't he? With his Del Boy,
You're right.
with the Del Boy, and then obviously with Del Boy speaking French, it fits, doesn't it? It just fits.
Yeah, love it. Let's start with yourself this time, Disco, and just to give a mention to Casper de Noort, aka the Deptford De Bruyne. I mean, he got an assist, a 45-yard pass for Aziz's goal on Saturday. I mean, this is a guy, right, who's back from injury. He's not quite 100% fit, but he's playing, really well. I think Chris noted in his post-match analysis that in the last game he made 10 forward passes into the final third, which I don't think any other Millwall player have done that, during a game. Again, just the fact that he's got this progressing passing in his locker, which not many midfielders in our team do have that. What did you make of his performance and his overall game at the moment, the way he's been playing since coming back?
Look, it's not a huge surprise as a Dutchman, is it? He's bound to be. All right. He's bound to be technically good. Bloody hell, Joe, that's
not bad for a Belgian player, either, is he?
But no, I'll tell you what, Joe. I will give you credit. You called it a few weeks ago, and having watched recently, you're absolutely right. He is constantly looking round over his shoulder.
Did you notice that as well?
Him in front to the side.
Did you notice
360, 100%. And it was mentioned, funnily enough, it was mentioned by, it must have been the Stoke game because it was a Sky commentary. And they were saying, watch him. He's watching the
Seriously?
whole game. And 100%. I forgot to tell
that?
you. Yeah, it was on the Sky commentary on Stoke. And I'm not sure if it was Dowie.
You sure it wasn't
Ian
me
Dowie
that said it? You think it was them?
You said it. But they then enhanced your, agreed with you. They mentioned that Joe had mentioned it. But no, seriously.
They said it first.
I must say, it's quite unique. You can see him as he's running forward. He's constantly looking around and watch out for it because, and it's really.
It's a very, very hard thing to do. I mean, I played football not to a high level over the years since I was a kid, and my youngest son plays it at a good level at the moment. And they tell you as a coach, you got to do it. When you play midfield, you got to do. You always got to check the shot. But it's very hard to remember to do that. To always be checking. And he does it so well, like it's incredible. He just knows what's around. That's why he's very quick. A little one passes around the corner, turning. He knows where everyone is on the pitch at all times, doesn't he?
Yeah. Look, and he's coming. Look, he's passing. He's fantastic. He's closing down. Is excellent, isn't it? When we press,
tackling,
he's always involved. Yeah, he's got a tackle in him. So look. Like to see him get a couple more goals. As all the midfielders, he got 2 or 3 last year, didn't he? But look, to be out of the team, then back in the team. And then to that ball to Aziz on Saturday was fantastic, very Billy-like from the other 2 games, but clearly something they're working on. But he's a real asset to us, a good player. And Stephen, great point. 3 midfielders there. You wouldn't be.
You have to take any of those 2, would you?
Any combination you'd take all day long, which is really, really good place to be.
Yeah, excellent. Cheers for that, Disco. Stato, just come to yourself to get your thoughts on Casper. Obviously, played a big part in creating the goal on Saturday. What do you make of him since he's come back from his injury and also his performance on Saturday?
I made a note of something you said earlier, Joe, and I wanted to come back to it because I knew we were going to talk about players. And you said that Casper de Noort is slowly understanding what it takes to be a Millwall player and has the attitude of a Millwall player. And that's probably one of the biggest compliments you can give him, because he has come from abroad. It's not like he's a local boy or he's been at the club for 10 years like Coops or whatever.
Good point.
He gets what it takes to play for this football club. And when he first come, and you got to be honest, when Harris come back, you kind of thought Casper was being phased out a little bit, because he didn't get the game time that we all thought that he might. And he's gone away. He's worked at what I would call the nasty side of the game, the hassling, the tackling, the pressing. He's got the quality on the ball. We all knew that anyway. He's brilliant. He was a big miss. He hasn't got a goal yet because he was missing against Swansea. Because if he would have been at Swansea, he probably would have scored, because he loves a goal against them. He was unlucky not to score against Stoke. I think it was. There was a little ball in from Ballo into the box.
Yeah,
he was unlucky not to. So I think goals will come. But I said it after QPR, when he come on, we look better. And against Stoke, it's no coincidence he played 70 minutes, best football we played in a long, long time. And the other thing, and I link this back to Derek as well, and Billy when he plays, and Disco touched on this earlier, the change of system, our midfielders look 10 times better because they look up and they've got options out wide. They've got people to give the ball to. When everyone's stuck in the middle and it's all cramped, we lose the ball. We don't really know what we're doing. It's a bit of a hoof into the corner. Billy Mitchell, Casper Denor, and Derek are looking up. They've got options. They've got their fullbacks attacking
and runners. We've got some pace now on the breaks. We can play balls over in the channels, can't we?
Exactly. And it's a simple thing, and it's really basic skill. If you're a midfielder and you pass the ball to your own team when you're going forward, you're going to look a better player. And it's so simple, that the basic skill of football, passing, but you see the difference because they're looking up, they're confident. And the other thing, each time when we play out from the back, on the left-hand side, Derek goes out to the touchline to become an option. On the right-hand side, Casper goes out and to give himself an option. They're always available for the ball. And I said it earlier, Derek is superb. It doesn't matter who plays in midfield. And Casper, I think, is the tip of the iceberg. I think he's probably the one that has to play. But, you know, and the pass for the goal. I mean, we talk about Aziz being in the form he's in, but how many of our squad could realistically play a 60-yard pass onto his right foot? I don't know how many could.
I know. That distance getting further and further, 45, 55, now 60. you keep extending it. But you're right, it's like a quarterback, wasn't it? Literally, get a touchdown at the end there. It's incredible, you know. Good point there from Mark Heath. He mentioned Casper is in the last year of his contract. He's better than you before New Year window. He's been a great signing. You can also put Billy in that as well. I'm pretty sure Billy Mitchell's contract is due in the summer as well. So I don't know. Yeah.
Am I right in saying though that when we signed Casper, we got him on one of those you sign for X amount of years with a +1?
Yeah.
So
right.
I think we do need to get that sorted, but I don't think it's as vital this season.
No.
It'd be the summer that we need to sort it out properly.
Yeah. I think you're correct there, because I think you're technically right. I think they can trigger that. I don't know whether he needs to agree to that as well, though. I'm not sure how that works, but he may even want a better contract, because whatever they signed him on, I'm sure he's performed so much better the last sort of 2 or 3 seasons that really is deserving a bigger contract. I'm not saying he's going to do what, allegedly what Ivanovic was asking for, an improved contract, but he's probably looking at this thinking, you know what? Come in the season, I want a bigger contract. I want to sign, to 30, 31, 32. He's only 28 years old, so he's got 2 or 3 years of best time of his football. If we could try and sign another 3-year contract, it'd be great. And Billy as well. I think Billy's 25, 26 from memory.
He's
so
the one
young,
He's the one that I think the contract situation is different, because he was bought through the club, wasn't he?
On a free,
he could go. Now I think Billy. And I don't want to do him a disservice. I really, really don't, because he's been absolutely superb for us. But I think he fits at Millwall. I don't know how many teams in the Championship would take Billy Mitchell, and I don't want that to come across like I'm being derogatory to him, because he has been very, very good. But it's a fit. He understands the club. He's been there since he was a boy. So That is one that we do need to sort out. But I think that if he really thought about it, and his agent or his family, or I know his mum's very active on social media, isn't she? She's obviously very proud of her boys, and rightly so. But I think he's the one that we'd need to tie down quicker than Casper. But they both, if we can get it done ASAP, great business. If we can.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you there.
I'll be surprised if they're not talking already.
Talking
in terms of planning, I'd imagine for both players. To be fair, yeah.
And then we come to yourself, Bex, on Casper. Before we move to the attacking third team, would you make of his performance Saturday and recent performance come back from injury?
Yeah, do you know what? It feels like he's never been out of the team, to be fair. He just slotted in so well. Kind of forgot what it was like without him, to be honest with you, because we was all screaming, going, we just need him back. But now it just feels like he's actually been there longer than what the 2 games that he's basically, or the two and a bit games that he's kind of played. I just, when he's there, I just sometimes forget he's even on the pitch. But and that's not because he's rubbish, because he's not. It's just because he's good and he just gets the job done. Yeah. And he does. He just gets that ball and looks, right, where's it got to go, and gets rid of it quick. If he doesn't, he's got that skill to kind of get round the players with it and take it to where it needs to go. So it's not a bad thing that I'm forgetting that he's on the pitch. I just think that just shows the skill and the ability that he's got. In it all, and like I said, the pass that he made over to Femi, just didn't expect it, to be honest with you. Didn't expect. It's like a ball that we keep seeing at the minute, but it's like it's coming from 1 minute it's Billy, and it's like, oh look,
is it sixth sense there, Bex, or do you think they've got this kind of almost like agreement? Look, when I've got the ball, you go, because it seemed like as soon as that ball's played to him,
he was gone.
Femi was going. And then Casper just launched this ball.
Launched it. It's like, okay, we've got this huge
exactly
amount
where
of
it's
space.
going to go. Yeah.
We could have run it before. That would have been, let's try to put it out here. And it's like,
let's just get the long ball. Exactly that. If Femi didn't run, that ball would have just gone off, and the goalkeeper would have come out of his box and probably got it. But the fact that it just worked so well, he's also got an understanding. When I got that ball, I'm in space. You go, Femi, and I'll find you.
And you know what? The precision in these balls as well at the minute.
The weight of the pass, weren't it as well?
It's phenomenal. Like I don't remember the last time we saw these sorts of balls coming across. It is. It's a different team that we're watching at the minute.
And don't get me wrong, Femi's got a lot to do when he's got to bring that ball down against Mitchell.
Yeah, he's got the skill to get it. Yeah,
all the skill, but just the awareness of the passing from our midfielders. You're right. It's been fantastic to see.
But I think it's been such a joy to have Casper back in the team. My biggest fear, probably like a lot of people, is we just don't want him to get that injury again, or kind of. He's playing all these minutes, and like Alex said, he's probably playing more minutes on these players than he should be, but because we need that consistency and that continuity in the team, he's just going with it, and it is that risk that he's taking, but I think the risk is paying off. It's kind of outweighing everything, and that I guess that it is my biggest fear with Casper, because he was off for so long. I think to just take a little knock, it could just have a real setback. But at the minute, I think he's there, and I just look forward to kind of him being in that team that little bit more, and doing the full whack, continuing on. I love watching Casper. He was always like one of my favourites anyway. Even from when he first come in, and like Stephen said, it kind of seemed to be that he was coming out a bit of favour. It was with Neil Harris, wasn't it?
We opted for Saville and Mitchell, didn't he?
Yeah, and I loved Saville. Like he was like a favourite of mine. But you did really notice it when Casper wasn't in the team, and I think we did really feel it from the off without him being in the team. And like I said, it just feels like he was never away. He's just come straight back in, and I actually think he's probably playing better than ever at the minute. So I'm excited.
Do you know what's really interesting as well with Saville? Again, there's lots of things that kind of go. Saville with Casper that goes unnoticed. I don't know whether guys in the chat, whether you notice this, or even you guys here listening on the panel, but he's stepped into that Saville role a little bit at the moment. He's become a little bit of a leader at midfielder. The way you hear him now shouting on the pitches, you can hear his distinctive voice, and he's constantly shouting and telling the players what to do and what to be doing. And he's constantly talking to them. He's been that kind of general in the midfield. And I think he realizes that he had to do this, almost inherited this off George Savile. George Savile was brilliant at doing that. I remember Casper saying in the early days how much he looked up to George Savile, loved playing with George Savile, because George Savile used to control how they played. He would tell them when to press, when to sit in deep, and almost control the midfield. And I just feel that maybe Casper's taking that role on now. You see him constantly talking to Del Boy, talking to the players and telling where to go, what to do, and when to hold and all that. And you hear his voice. And that's another part of his game that he's probably brought out that he hadn't had before. But this season, he's really kind of brought that side of it, which you don't probably see or hear much, but it's an important part to what goes on in the team. So very, very interesting.
Joe, I sense. Look, he's a really nice bloke. I think you know that well, and he just looks a really nice fella, doesn't he? I'd imagine he's a coach's absolute dream. He just seems the type who takes on board. He's like a sponge, probably taking on board all the training and ideas he's being given and playing off other players. The experience of Sav, he's probably taken that on board and he's now using it in his game. So and that's what we're benefiting from, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's right. Because I thought personally, he'll be rested for the last game. Played such so many minutes in the last two games, and then Mitchell coming back from illness. You're thinking, right, well, there you go. Billy's back in the team. Casper, you now sit out. But knowing Casper, he wouldn't want to miss that game. With respect, if it was against a lowly team and maybe not such an important game, perhaps reluctantly he would step down, but he wouldn't want to miss any games. But when it comes to a big game, I know what Casper's like. He wants to play these big games. He loves the atmosphere. The bigger the occasion is, the more he wants to play. So when I found that he was starting, I was so sort of pleased for him. I knew what it means, and he does really, up his game even more in those sort of situations. So look, fantastic there. Well done, Casper. Now we will look at the attacking third, guys. I can't remember who started us off last time. I've got a feeling it was Disco. So I'll start with Stato this time. Let's start with Femi Aziz. I mean, how can we?
You give me the best one there, Joe. Lovely.
How can we have gone an hour and not giving him any accolade at the moment? It's incredible. It shows you how disciplined we are on this show. We've got a script, we've got an agenda, and we're fucking sticking to it. Okay. So look, Stato, Femi Aziz, 4 goals. 2 assists his last 4 games, although one I think is ruled out as technically not an assist, but we like to think it is an assist. I mean, his goal on Saturday was incredible. Just the confidence, the ooze to go past players, little back heels, and little tick. One of the guys mentioned in the chat there, I'm not sure it was there, but little back heels from the players, and he's the orchestra of all that. He's one who's playing all that. He's giving them confidence to play. I mean, what do you make of his performance on Saturday and recently?
So the best thing I can say about him is he is the player that I think people wanted Amaku to be. And when I say that, he gets you off your seat. Every time Aziz is on the ball, the expectancy in the ground goes through the roof. People just think, we're going to score. He's going to create something. He's going to nutmeg someone. He's going to go past 3 players. It's phenomenal. And something you said earlier about the working on the long ball. Ballo, which we'll come on to, if you watch him, he is a proper winger. He's on that touch line and spreads the play. Aziz does the same thing, but he also has that string to his bow that he can be in the middle and get himself in the box and get himself a goal. We've seen it now 3 or 4 times of getting himself in the box to score a goal. He is. People often remind me, and a load of people say that I slagged him off when he first started, and I did. And I hold my hands up. But that first game at Orient, he was absolutely dreadful. He was. And terrible. I said, and I'm doing this on a live. I did it on the show I did recorded the other day, but I'm doing it on a live. I said he was the worst £1 million we've ever spent on a footballer, right? He's the best £1 million we've ever spent on a footballer. I take it all back. There you go. It's no coincidence as well that the Coventry game was the last game that we had, I believe, Amaku and Negley out wide. After that, we've gone to Ballo and Aziz. And it's no coincidence, as I said earlier, midfielders can give the ball to wingers. The wingers are taking people on. They're not frightened. They seem to be able to use both feet. And Aziz is just, he's the best player in the Championship at the moment, in my opinion. He's a guy that clearly has all the confidence in the world. He gets in front of goal. He believes he's going to score. He's just an absolute joy. And sometimes when you think, oh, he looks a bit tired and we need to take him off and he's struggling a little bit. All of a sudden he's taken on his fullback and going past them for fun. So Femi, it's a joy to watch him at the moment. And people talk about, there was a comment in the chat about what would happen if clubs are looking at our players at the moment. Well, we're in a position at the moment. We're third in the league. We're trying to make the top 6, and we've got Aziz, I believe, on a fairly long-term contract. I think he's still got a couple of years left. So unless someone's going to come in and offer silly money, I just don't see him going anywhere. He's loving his football. Yeah, from what you see on social media, his family settled in London. I think he's got a young child as well and a partner. So he's just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, and it's a joy to watch. It really is. But it's no coincidence that and I'm paraphrasing. I think my dad might be watching now, and he's put a comment in that the fact that we've got 2 wingers in the side that are both threats and creating chances has seen a dramatic improvement in the team.
Yeah,
100%
and obviously Femi
Yeah.
is half of that. Ballo is the other half.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely, spot on. And to your point earlier as well, you know, he had a big pair of shoes to fill, didn't he, when Aziz come in, because he was essentially taking over Roman Esse. And you talk about players that get you off the edge of your seat, and you know there were players like, for me, going back as far as I can, I guess Jimmy Carter was my earliest memory of a winger who I used to be excited to watch. Then there was Mark Kennedy. I sort of loved watching Mark Kennedy. You just knew he had that ball. He's going to go down the touch line and get these with those crosses in. Yeah, very exciting player. And then we had to wait till Paul Eiffel came on the scene. And Paul Eiffel was that sort of player as well. Since then, we had to wait a very, very, very long time. Then Roman Esse comes along for a short period, for a couple of seasons. And now Femi Aziz is that player. When you talk about players, wingers that get off the edge of your seat, who you pay to watch, I think he's that kind of, in that kind of mold, isn't he?
Absolutely. Just before I'm going to go back to the Stoke game, because obviously I know we're talking about Leicester, but down so our right in front, it's probably right in front of where you sit, Joe. He went past 2 players, nutmegged the fullback, and ran onto the. And you're looking around at people thinking, hold on a minute, this what? Like we don't have players that do this. It's amazing. He's embraced this whole DJ Femi. Obviously, it's his celebration. He's embraced that. You know, it's part of who he is, and the club are making the most of it. Why would they not? It's good. It's good that they're embracing it as well. But he's just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal at the moment. Joy to watch.
Absolutely. Coming that comment there from Lion's Roll. Just in case any other teams are watching, Aziz's shit, I wouldn't even bother sending anyone to watch it. That's absolutely
basically the whole team shit. No one wants it.
They're all shit. You know, Crammer's not even French.
No,
Crammer's not even French. You know, I don't know what they were talking about. Bex, come to yourself on Femi Aziz. What do you make of him recently, and also on Saturday?
Yeah, do you know what? I say it again. I just find him a very exciting player. Very exciting. Yeah, off your seat, kind of on the edge, going, oh, what's going to come? I think we've got that expectation, haven't we? That we think things are going to happen. As soon as you get the ball, it's like, okay, he's going to do something amazing. It's like, you just don't want to get your hopes up that he doesn't muck it up. But I do find myself sitting there going, what is to come? What is to come next? I'm not going to lie. I didn't see the goal. I was kind of downstairs getting myself a cup of tea. I was like, literally, do you know what? I was like,
she's worse than Chris, isn't she? Dear me.
I know.
Do you know, I went down. The play was a bit stagnant. I thought
they love the old concourse, don't they? Those two.
I was like, oh my god! And then I heard the roar, and I was like, oh, Leicester have scored. And then it was like, oh crap, it's us. Oh, Femi. Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. I watched the goal back on Sky. It was phenomenal. It was brilliant. And I'm sure in person it was even better, to be honest with you.
It was great.
But he does. He just gets out. He gets out on the wing, and he isn't afraid to just run at players and see what happens. Like when he got the penalty for us.
Yeah,
it was like a penalty by the guy. But if he didn't make that run, we wouldn't have had it.
Well, it goes back even further, Bex. Though he actually steals the ball off their left back, Thomas. Goes past him into the box, goes past Harry Winks. So it's just incredible. Really, did everything there, didn't get that penalty to show we couldn't convert it, but
he did do everything. And even from the off, he was straight in, getting the ball, getting into the box, giving it a go. And it's so refreshing to have a player that is doing that. We haven't seen that for a while, so it is really nice to see that fight and that I'm going to give it a go without the worry of what the end product would be. So absolutely. I think if he continues on, he's gonna just fly. I think though the problem is we're gonna just keep expecting the goals to come. It's gonna be like, okay, Saturday, where's the goal? Like he's gonna get a goal.
And that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I want him to score.
Yeah, to have him a player like who can get goals, create goals.
Yeah, and he does. He creates the goals and he creates the chances. Yes,
Crosses.
He's got the players getting him the ball to be able to do that, but he's got to finish it. He's got to be the one to create that ending.
Right. Before we go to Disco, Stato, you've got some stats for us, haven't you, Femi Aziz, from last season to this season?
I have. Just on that as well, though, to touch on what Beck said, the expectation is there, but when we say you look at someone like Jed Wallace, when Jed Wallace was in the team, everybody knew that he was our creative spark. So people would put 2 or 3 players on him. The difference with Aziz is that if opposition put a couple of players on Femi, Ballo on the other side is going to absolutely rip them apart. So they have to. They can't just. It's not like we've only got one of those wingers now. There's 2 of them, and that's the difference. I think there might be expectancy, but if someone was to, for example, Saturday, if Oxford think, right, we've got to stop Femi Aziz, well, I tell you now that the other side is going to get an absolute battering because Ballo will just take the ball. So I think that's important to remember.
I was going to say, sorry, did you find when you were watching as well? It felt like they were leaving him open quite a bit. They gave him the space to be able to create these chances, which I was quite surprised about. A bit like both of the sides. They were both. Let's face it, we've seen their ability these last few matches, and I was quite surprised that Leicester left the players and the wingers open to be able to do that.
But do you know what that was though, Bex? Was interesting. Their wingers didn't track back and double up. To your point. Like when you look at Ballo and Aziz, they work so hard to get back and help out the fullbacks, don't they? Defend. Yeah. Whereas Leicester's wingers weren't doing that. They were happy to go forward, but they weren't great going back. So you're right. Yeah. Aziz was always on 1v1, weren't he? So was Ballo.
Yeah. So
he was a poor fullback, wasn't he? Sorry, Bex. He was a poor.
He was terrible.
No, sorry. And we've all butted into Stato when he's stacked.
Yeah. So, Disco, I want to come to you, but Stato, very quickly, we've got some stats here we want to just share with our audience here. So I'll let you explain what this is about, Stato. If you can see that, hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can see that on your screens, guys, but Stato, just take it away. This is last season, this season with Femi Aziz, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're looking on a bigger screen, it's probably easier to see. But I can basically summarize it if it's not that straightforward. Essentially, Femi Aziz, we're comparing the whole season to obviously 12 games, but he's already got more goals than he scored in the league last year. The successful crosses, I think his cross accuracy is up 10% from last year. Now,
so obviously, it was 20%, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah.
Just but those who can't read that, 20% last year, 30% success this season.
Yeah, and it just, I think that goes to show that clearly we're using him as the main man at the moment, and he's been sort of paraded as the main man, but you've also then got to go and do it. And I think we're just seeing a better player, someone who's worked at his game, who's been given a role to do. As I say, he's got I think 1 assist. It should be 2. Last year he got 5 altogether. I think if he keeps going on the way that he does, he's going to absolutely fly. He's going to fly past that. And the other thing to note, and this is probably the most, I would say, that the pleasing stat for anybody if looking at it, expected goals. It's one of the most frustrating things, I think, because people look too much into it. But Femi's goals this year he's not expected to score the goals that he has. So he is creating chances for himself out of nothing. The goal against West Brom, an absolute banger. The goal against QPR, desire to get on the end of the ball. The goal against Stoke, desire to get on the end of the ball. The goal against Leicester, making the run, bringing the ball down, and the composure. I think he has developed his game from last year being a winger that was very hit and miss to first name on the team sheet, working on delivery, working on getting himself in the right positions. And I think, you know, from last season to this season, it's going to be chalk and cheese. You come to the end of the year, the numbers, and they're all going in the right direction. The numbers that you want going in the right direction, they are. And it's a credit to him. And it's also someone said in the chat earlier, about Alex Neil getting a little bit of praise, which I'm sure we'll come on to. But Alex Neil, he must be sending Femi Aziz out onto the pitch, making him think like he's Ronaldo or Messi. Honestly, he must be absolutely flying high and telling him you're gonna get us a goal today, you're gonna get us an assist today. And Neil's got to take some credit for that, because he's getting the best out of him, continuously getting the best out of him.
Brilliant. Guys, come to Disco now on Aziz. We need to probably move forward a bit quicker. I know we've got lots to sort of discuss, though, because I want to talk about injuries at the moment. There's been an under-21s game today as well. We need to sort of touch on as well. Lots to sort of talk about, but if we can just cover Aziz Disco as well. And maybe the last part, we'll just go through Ballo, Kundal, Ivanovic quite quickly. So over to yourself, Disco, with regards to Aziz. I'd love to hear your thoughts on him. Not just yesterday, but the last sort of 2 or 3 games.
Look, I can only echo what the guys have said. And look, although Stephen may have gone into writing saying it, I think everybody, that Leyton Orient game, I just thought, what a waste of money. This guy's out of his depth. I remember vividly thinking, why can't we buy someone for once who comes in and really makes an impact for a bit of difference as a talented, player? And boy, has he turned his form around for us, and he's just outstanding at the moment, isn't he? You asked, you're on form tonight, Joe. Apart from the Dutch comment, you talking about the quarterback for the goal, you're absolutely right. But people have put in the chat that he does point. It's obviously on the training ground, but obviously he points as soon as Casper gets it. He points and goes, and Casper sees it. And great delivery. Brilliant finish,
Go by what we said earlier, Disco, as well. Is that, again, just Casper's, looking, again, checking the pitch? He might have clocked Aziz. That's why when he wanted that ball in his head, he knew where he was going to put it, because Aziz was pointing to it. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, but I would say it's something something they must work on, Joe, especially with Billy doing it a couple of times. And look, isn't it great to see that things that are being worked on the training ground are coming to fruition? So brilliant. And I tell you what, it wasn't easy. Look, the defender was poor, that young fullback, but he got in front of him. He used his body strength to keep him off. It was a bouncing ball. It looked as soon as he hit it, I thought it's going over the bar. So how he kept it down, and to go, I've got to say, question the keeper. I think if that was Bender or Krogan, we'd be questioning why he didn't do better. Good pace, but it was really at him. So, but look, brilliant goal. And seeing that net bulge was just outstanding. And I think it's been mentioned, he's very confident at the moment. He's playing with a smile on his face, and boy, benefiting from it. It's a joy. It's a joy to see, and long may it continue. He will start to get targeted on the pitch, and
without doubt.
I think there was interest in the before the season, wasn't there? And I would imagine
there were a couple of teams after him in the summer. Absolutely,
but I think, like Stephen said, hopefully we're in a strong place. Do you want me to rattle through the others? I think.
Well, tell you what we'll do. I'm going to drop them in the chat to you guys. Sorry, and you guys just come in as you want. So before we do that, Ben the Beaver, you're absolutely right. Jed Wallace, another player that had the edge of my seat. Super sort of player. Really enjoyed Jed Wallace when he played for us and his prime, and also Gordon Hill again. I did my research, NeoQuest, when we interviewed him a few weeks back on the live. I'm not sure if you watched that one, but I heard a lot about Gordon Hill, aka Merlin. And I did my research, and I'll tell you what a player. I even told him on the live, he was ahead of his era. The way he played, he's very much like Ryan Giggs. The way he sort of played, great winger, and he was fantastic for us. So, another one there worth mentioning. So, guys, I'm going to drop the player in. You guys just jump in, say what you want. Let's have a discussion. So, Ballo, there you go. Would you make this performance a bit quieter? Some may say on Saturday compared to the previous games, but still effective. Was that fair to say?
Yes.
That's how you rattle through it quickly.
There you go. Right.
No.
Next player.
Look, really good. And I think we've said it before, and I'll say it again. Defensively and work rate, as well as technically bloody fantastic. He looks a really good addition. We need to sign him up, don't we? Let's be honest. And again, he looks like he's loving it, isn't he? Little mini me, and he of Femi. So, but as soon as he scored, he was over there with Femi. They seem to have a good bond. They'll be getting on well. He can speak English, so he can communicate.
He can translate.
Yeah. But look, really good addition, and he's only going to get better as well. But I have to say, his work rate surprises me. Really.
Yeah, and I think it shows it that he's enjoying playing in the team. He's exciting. He's an exciting player to see.
The only thing I would say, and I get that obviously the time constraint with a podcast, and we could talk about this all night if we really wanted to, but the fact that we're only really going to do a short piece on Ballo is amazing. Because I think he's been so good, but that's how good the likes of Casper, Kramer, Femi have been, because Ballo won man of the match, I think on social media
Stoke,
in one of the previous, Stoke, and he's just an exciting, again, we keep talking about it, Millwall teams of the past, and I talk from my dad and me growing up, the exciting wingers getting balls into the box, and the two of them together are just there. It's enjoyable watching them play, and there's it's not often we've said that about some of our players. Sometimes it's a bit laboured. You think about 2 seasons.
I love that point there, Stato, from Alex at MSC.
Yeah.
I wish
100%.
this team had been fit for. Can you imagine that? I just hope they're fit when we play them. Is it in February next year?
January.
I would love to absolutely ruin them with those two on fire. Can you imagine that?
Just think about this as well. And this is for the chat as well. We've gone from having George Honeyman and Duncan Watmore out wide to Femi Aziz and Geno Ballo. Just think about the
back
difference.
A bit further, the old Vag as well, Mogul Slammer. He was in the mix. He was playing out of the wing.
I quite enjoyed him
quite often. Did you?
Yeah, he was right.
Joe's a big fan as well. Yeah.
Oh, I loved him.
Yeah.
Loved him. But
what a great point, Stephen. What a great
long
point.
Way. Yeah.
How far have we come? That's
true.
Massive.
Sorry, and Big E, sorry, again, just remember to hit the thumbs like button, guys. Thank you so much, Big E, for that. Yeah, please make sure you subscribe, do all that sort of jazz, which Big E says there. So really do appreciate it, Big E. Thanks very much for reminding us. Ballo, fantastic. And he loves it here. You can see, he made it
he does.
quite clear in a previous interview, didn't he? He wants to stay here long term. He loves it. The players love him as well. You can see the reaction when all celebrating the goals together and how much he kind of fits in with the rest of the team. Fantastic. Kundal, guys, he's played the last 2 games now that Smallbone's been injured in the 10. What do you make of his performance on Saturday?
I quite enjoyed him, to be fair. I think I said that I was neither here nor there whether he played again, to be honest with you. But actually, I quite enjoyed what he got up to and how he got himself into the mix. And he done that pass back between him and Sturge, and obviously he put a bit too much weight behind the ball, which was a bit of a shame because it meant that Sturge couldn't get the ball into the box.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think actually he's settled in. He's settled into it, and actually, I'd like to see him on Saturday in that position to see what kind of comes. Because I think we kind of said, he's a bit of a player that's a bit all over the place. We didn't really see where he kind of fit, but
He's sort of winning us over a bit now, isn't he? A little bit.
That's what I felt. Actually, I felt quite.
Yeah.
Actually, he's actually kind of showing us what he can do. So yeah, I really enjoyed him. So whatever anyone else wants to say, add on.
Yeah, go on, guys. Steve.
No, I'm okay, well, go on, Joe.
No, I just want to say, guys, in the chat, I was just conscious that when we talk about players, we talk about them individually. We really dissect it and get all our thoughts in, which is fantastic. But I do appreciate it does drag the show on quite a bit. Now, in the chat, if you don't mind, just help us out a little bit. If you'd rather us go through them individually, as we have been doing throughout the show, give us a 1 in the chat. If you rather me just drop the name in there and let's all just pile in and just give our little bits and go through them very quickly, give us 2 in the chat. I'd love to get your thoughts. So what we go with, we'll try and stick to in the forthcoming show. Sorry, Disco, off you go, mate.
No, not at all, Joe. No, good shout. Look, I think I've always been quite a Cundall fan.
You have to be fair, haven't you? Yeah.
But understanding, look, he started well and faded out, and then put a lot of effort in pre-season. Started the season quite well. Again, faded out. I wasn't sure he was quite a 10, much as I get frustrated about the bloody 10 role and all the rigmarole around it. But I'd say these last couple of games, he's played really well. He has played his part. Might not be a standout, but he's a mate of mine who's a real football man, knows his stuff. Chris, a good ex-player himself. And look, he says technically he is bob on, really, really. And with the better players around him now, he's starting to show that he's
also to that point there, Disco. Chris mentioned it on his post-match analysis as well, that he's very good in tight spaces.
100%.
There's so many times when the ball's played in and around the midfield there. He's very good with a little one-touch, quick give and goes, isn't he? Like he's very quick in those sort of areas as well, isn't he?
Correct. So look, I liked Smallbone and I thought he would be first choice, but obviously he's injured. So Cundall is doing more than a good enough job right now. And I really hope it works out for him because he seems, again, nice lad and he's put the effort in and you have to commend that.
Yeah. Also, Alex makes a really, really good point here, guys. I mean, me personally, if I was to choose between the 3 of them, I'll pick RBW. Because I just think, as you all just said many, many times in the show, he's the one player technically that can open up defenses. He's got that bit of magic. He can get you a goal, get you an assist, But understandably, he probably hasn't got the work ethic that Cundall has off the ball. Cundall being more of a runner and all the rest of it. And then, of course, you've got Negley there as well. But to that point, guys, I don't know whether you agree with that point that Alex mentioned there.
I think you've basically said what I was just about to say there, Joe. I think it's if you look at the big thing about Smallbone is his pressing from the front. Someone put in the chat earlier that we're the best team in the league at winning the ball back. I think high up the pitch. Smallbone was excellent at that. Luongo was excellent at that. And if you look at I think it was the Stoke game. Especially Leicester a little bit. Cundall did the same thing. His pressing was very, very good and forced them into mistakes.
True.
I've been banging the Bangura Williams drum for ages. I think the boy's got to play. He's so good on the ball. But it's much like when Harris was here, Romain Esse weren't getting in the team. Casper weren't getting in the team because of the job that the manager was asking them to do. Alex Neil wants a high press. He wants his players on the front foot, winning the ball back high up the pitch. And clearly, it's now making more sense. That's why Bangura Williams isn't playing, because he doesn't think he can do it as well as the other options. Now, obviously, we'll all have an opinion on that. And I still think Bangura should be getting some more game time. But I've been impressed with Cundall the last 2. Steve and I we've had many conversations on here about him, and he's been pro Cundall. I've been kind of against him, but I must admit he's been pretty good the last 2. Not setting the world alight, but he's just starting to show a little bit of why he's getting the shirt over perhaps some of the other options.
Yeah, that's an excellent point there. Excellent point there. Also, Ballo's too good. The Cristiano Ronaldo chop was outrageous. I did spot that, which is really good. But again, as a player in confidence there, I guess we need to end off with Mihailo Ivanovic, guys. I mean, you almost sense there was a turning point there against QPR, where they're scoring that goal and the way he was celebrating with the fans afterwards, and they're singing his name, and he had a big smile on his face, and it hasn't quite sort of carried on, is it really, from there?
I think he was unlucky not to score against Stoke. I think the save Johansson made in the second half from him was a very underrated save. It was a good shot. He twisted and turned the defender, and on Saturday, I might get pelters for this. I don't think Ivanovic was that bad. I really don't.
Well,
look,
when you say not bad, as in the work ethic. I mean, he did. Remember, guys, he's been playing 90 minutes for the last 2 or 3 games. No resting. He's working his socks off. He's trying to press on his own. He hasn't got Coburn next to him anymore. So you've got to give him a couple of little bit of
he put a shift in.
Yeah, he did. He did
right,
put a shift in. But unfortunately, in the striker position, ultimately it's goals. And he's not he's not got his goal. The penalty, I don't know what you guys think of this. Obviously, I sit behind the goal up in block 10, and literally, in line with the penalty spot. And watching him, as soon as he had the ball in his hand, he didn't look confident. He looked like someone that just wanted it over and done with. Now, I don't know what's going on in his head. I don't know if he hasn't quite got over his that he scored his goal and it was more relief and that's job done type thing. But he just and you could tell. And interestingly, on going back to Luke Cundle, someone might be able to correct me wrong on this, but I watched at full time Aziz and Ivanovic dropped to their feet because they were absolutely shattered. Ivanovic dropped to his knees because he was absolutely devastated that he missed the penalty and was really disappointed.
What it was.
The first player...
I picked up on that. Aziz felt like he was just knackered and relieved to win.
Yeah.
And then Ivanovic was more about disappointment of not scoring that penalty, was he?
Absolutely. Yeah. And the first player to go over and console him and give him a little bit of a cuddle and talk to him was Luke Cundle. And that impressed me because he's not an experienced a Millwall player, Cundle, but he knew his teammate was struggling a little bit, and we all want the serve to he was banging form in pre-season. We all want him to find that form, but I really hope he gets another goal somewhere, maybe Saturday, maybe Tuesday, even if it hits him and goes in. Just get that penalty miss out of his head, because I think the effort's there. I think the commitment's there. It's just he needs to be on the end of chances. And I think that one final thing on Ivanovic for me, he put in a superb cross, I think, against Stoke. It was right on the money, right on the 6-yard box.
Is that for Ballo?
I don't know who it was, but who's the bloke you want in the middle of the box on the end of that chance? It's him. He needs to be.
Sorry. I couldn't resist. Brilliant. I couldn't resist.
You know what? I have a second video. Just waiting,
right,
Joe.
Let's move along the show. Come on, like 4 hours and a half now.
But yeah, he was devastated, and I just hope that on Saturday he's going to play. We know he's going to play because I can't see Langstaff getting the shirt. I just think he needs that little bit of belief again.
Yeah.
And Bex, can I just nip in? I thought I'd be a bit controversial tonight, and Stephen sort of beat me to it. I genuinely don't think he was as bad as people are saying. I know my mate Jeff, who is in the chat, end of the game, he said Ivanovic needs to get his act together. He's bloody dreadful. Watch the game back. Trust me, he is involved. That move you mentioned, Bex, when Cundle with the 1-2 with Sturge.
Yeah.
He started
Ivanovic was there.
Ivanovic started it on the halfway line. Nice little chest down, right to the midfielder's feet. And there was a few of those. There was defensive headers that he was doing as well. The one thing I would say, look, I'll balance it. Like Chris said in his review, we want more from him. And he needs better service.
Yeah.
We need more from him. He does need to put himself about a bit more in terms of up against the defenders. Just give them a bit more of a harder time and make himself look a bit busier and a bit nastier, but within the rules. But there was an interesting point late on, and you might say it's tiredness, but you've missed a penalty, desperate to put that right. There was Ballo went down the wing and he put a cross in and the defender blocked it. It was a great ball in between the keeper and the defender. Yeah. The defender knocked it out for a corner. But if it had gone past him, he wouldn't have got it, Mihailo. He was too far back. He needs to break a neck and get in there to score. So there's something not clicking.
Yeah.
He is working his nuts off, I'm telling you. He really is.
I was going to say, I think, you're right. Like he is really working himself. He's getting back into the defence quite a lot, and I think that's quite unlike a striker. Often we're quite commonly see, like, don't we, the strikers, they're always still up there, but he's always quite back. And I think with that, it's great that he's back, but also he's then not getting the full speed to get into the position we want him to be in. And that's like you said, Steve, with like the whole with not the finishing. He's not there to be able to create that finish because he's been elsewhere on the pitch, which is great, but we need him to some extent concentrate on being that striker. And again, with the penalty, yeah, it was poor. I could see from where I was sitting, you could see the confidence wasn't there. I didn't have a great feeling about it. As soon as he took that ball when he was standing there, I just thought, oh, like, here we go. I'm not 100%. But
really, really stupid comment now, and I'll be shot down in the comments gladly. That goes in, it looks like a decent penalty. And I know, of course it does. But honestly, it wasn't that bad a strike. No. It wasn't in the corner enough.
I think
he just quite hard. But it wasn't
kind of told the goalie where it was going, didn't he? Was very
correct.
Much,
you could tell which side he was going.
This is where I'm going. This is where it's going to be.
Also, I don't know whether you guys agree or not agree, but when he takes that penalty, I'm nervous for him, right? And the reason why I'm nervous for him is that the whole Millwall stadium erupts. You got all the Mill fans with the monk chart. You're going, and the whole stadium going. I feel like saying, just shut the fuck up, quiet down, leave him alone.
The kicker. Respect the penalty taker.
Yeah, we're not
rugby, Joe. Bloody hell! Silence would be worse.
Well, no, but you do that. You do that if you're waiting, you've got a penalty, and you're there behind the goal. You're making loads of noise. You're standing up on your feet. But we're almost intimidating Ivanovic. Yeah. Everyone's on their feet behind the goal. They're all singing like, meh. The stadium's going mental, and he's there with all that fucking noise going on. You're just adding to his nerves. Honestly,
I'm
going
to get you a microphone to say shut up.
Yeah, we're a big tannoy. Shut the fuck up.
Quiet, please.
Quiet, please. Let him concentrate on the penalty. Honestly,
Joe, I have to admit, I don't think you're ever going to get that in any home ground. People get excited when the team get a penalty. I just don't think you're going to get it. The thing that done it for me, right? The thing that done it for me was that Ballo was adamant he wanted that penalty. Ballo is it was a penalty take. A lot of his goals, if you look at the packages on YouTube, he's a very good penalty taker. And Ballo was saying, I want it. And Ivanovic was sort of, you could see him gesturing, saying, no, it's mine.
Or even why didn't Aziz take it? I mean, geez, the guy can walk on water if he decides to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, why can't he, you know?
This is the thing, and in Ivanovic's defence, and the guys in the comment, and I don't know who they are specifically, but I said this, and I'm sure we'll see if anyone owns up to it. At Crystal Palace, Josh Coburn got absolute pelters for not taking one of the earlier penalties in the penalty shootout and looked like he didn't want to take it. You want your centre forward who's struggling for goals to pick that ball up and go, I am taking this penalty. He did that. He missed. Okay, it's a bit of a blow, and we would have been even more comfortable. I've got no issue with it, but he did have the probably. I don't know how it works. I don't know if footballers think in the same way that we do. But as soon as Ballo was pleading with him to take it, he's also got the pressure of he's just told his mate, I've got this. There's also a comment in the chat saying who is the nominated penalty taker. Alex Neil actually made an interesting comment where he says he lets the players sort it out for themselves. He doesn't get involved in that kind of thing. I think Neil Harris certainly had designated players to take penalties, but I don't think Alex Neil does. So I think it's certainly, if you had Coburn and Ivanovic on the pitch, it'd be interesting to see which one of them would actually end up taking the ball. But I think at the moment with the one striker, whoever it is on the pitch, they're going to be the one that's taking the ball.
Yeah, but I've got to say, it was Stoke, wasn't it, last year? He scored the penalty later on.
Top right-hand corner.
Look, I mean, stepping up on Saturday after that one, for me, give it to Ivanovic and just do exactly the same. Why he changed sides, God only knows. Look, he was in a lot of...
And you know what's interesting? Disco, it was interesting. There is some highlights on his previous game for the Vodjo, whatever they're called, the team he played before, where he takes a penalty low on the left-hand side and misses as well.
Wow.
So he's had previous of missing that bottom left-hand corner. yeah, he as you say, against Stoke, he's on top right hand corner, like a prime, Gary Lineker against West Germany, and then he goes bottom left again with a real tame effort. It's just massive contrast. So, listen, guys, I asked you in the chat earlier if you prefer us going through individually to a player or just having a discussion. I quite like the discussion because it sparks a debate. We could jump in. I agree. I don't agree. But what's really interesting, I'll let you guys decide. One was we go for individually. It takes a bit longer. Two, we just chuck it in there. And we've got loads of ones here. Look.
Do you know, while you're going through those, Joe, what I would say, and again, this has come from, I've recorded a show, which I'll come back to a bit later. But and us guys here.
We've got two there.
Hang on. Two, sorry, Steve.
We've got 1, 2.
Someone's gone rogue.
Yeah, we've got 1, 2. And typical Chris Brown, 2 just to be annoying.
Well done, Chris.
We are in a position, though, guys, where we've won 4 games in a row. And we just want to talk about Millwall. We just want to, you know what I mean? We're riding a really, really big wave.
Yeah.
If we'd have lost 4 games in a row, I don't think we'd be sitting here.
We've been 30 minutes gone. We're done, thanks.
We've been brushing a lot about under the carpet.
That's a big thing here. You ride the wave when you're winning, and I think that also has to come into it at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just conscious that we try and wrap things up in 90 minutes. We're now gone 10 minutes over, and I've still got another 2 pages to kind of get through at the moment.
Joe, it never used to be like this before Bex, did it?
I was going to say, it's probably my fault.
Rabbit. That's what it is.
Honestly,
you kept talking about Kramer. Come on.
I know. That's why we got stuck. We couldn't move forward after that, could we? We couldn't move forward. But no, look, fantastic performance from the guys. Obviously, we've kind of really gone into every single player. We haven't talked about the substitutes. So we did that. We'd be here till bloody midnight. So, but look, Ivanovic worked his socks off. Yes, he missed the penalty. He did look rattled afterwards, didn't he? But like I said, he's done 2 back-to-back 90-minute games, with no senior striker to help him out or come off the bench. So I think that's kind of fair expectations. While I think he kind of leads the line at the moment, that you're not gonna get that 10 out of 10 performance from him, but he's going to do a job there.
Joe, just on that, not being too defensive for him, because look, he can improve. Do you feel he's getting used to this system again as well? He liked playing in a 2, didn't he?
He did.
He does look a little bit lost at times as to what's my role here. And Bex, you're right. Brian Horn in the commentary kept saying, "I want him in the box. I want him in the box.
Get in
the box." And he's trying to. So he's probably finding his feet with the system. And listen, let's be right. If he starts clicking as well, Jesus, what a front line we've got there.
Amazing.
Phenomenal.
You're right. So, just to sort of touch on very quickly, XGs, we edged it. I think we had 1.5 XG on Saturday. They had 0.76. So we did limit them to any kind of big chances really against us. I think set pieces. I think we defended very, very well against Leicester's aerial duel. So all in all, really good performance. I think we must be very, very sort of pleased with that. Injuries, and we want to touch on the under 21s, the academies as well. So Will Smallbone, Alex Neil come out and said that he's going to be out for several months. And when I mentioned Josh Coburn, he said, similar. Like he's going to be out for several months as well. So we believe Smallbone is out with a hamstring injury, and Coburn's out with a thigh injury, isn't he? Or a quad, I think, or something like that. So both players are going to be out for several months, which is not great, is it, guys?
No.
And also, if you add into that Luongo's out for the season, if you add him into the mix as well, it is a blow. But I think.
Do you remember BBB, Benico Baylor?
Yeah,
Benico Baker. People are asking what's happened to him. He's been out with a hamstring injury. He's got a hamstring tear. And that hasn't been announced, or mentioned at all, has it?
Did you find your hamstring sore, Joe, when you played at the Den? Did you have any problems?
When I stretched and saw that goal at the Den? I did. To be fair, I did slightly, but as you do, you kind of run it off a little bit, don't you? Just go,
Good stats,
and you carry on. and you carry on. And you just go again. Stato,
you on the button ready?
Do you find it when you scored? Oh no, you didn't score, did you? Sorry.
You'll miss, honestly. Oh no, you're finished.
Right,
Next show we do, you're finished.
Let's move along. We ain't got time for this. Listen, right, under 21s, we played against Charlton. Fucking, the old.
Do we really want to talk about this?
I know it's only under 21s. It's technically like a friendly.
Let's talk about the good news from that. Yeah.
The reason why I mentioned it, exactly. The good news is Danny McNamara played 60 minutes. He started, done 60 minutes. He come off. He done an interview. He said he felt very, very strong after the game. He said he could have done even longer if he wanted to, but he had to listen to the coaches. They didn't want to kind of risk it or push it on it anymore. But he looked good. He looked happy. He looked in a good place, and he's pushing for a place in the squad now. That's how up for it he is. So great bit of news there. AJ Matthews did score our second goal, but I heard he went off injured, so that's not a good sign. Another striker injured. Bit of good news. Zach Lovelace started.
Yay.
Anyone asking where the hell Zach Lovelace is? He started, so that's good. Not sure how well he performed. Race Bangura Williams started as well, and also Jack Howland was involved as well. So good to see those guys getting minutes in the legs. Hopefully they can break into the match day squads and be involved in the first team again. Gosto?
I don't know how true this is, and I don't know if anyone would know, but I was under the impression that AJ Matthews was, because we had quite a few forwards available, I was under the impression he's only just come back from an injury, and that's why he was taken off. I'm not 100% sure, but I read someone was on Twitter who fairly reliable. Had said that it was a phased return to action, and we had options on the bench to be able to change it. So I don't know for sure though, but he may not be injured.
That'd be good.
And there's a comment. Alfie Dougherty. Alfie Dougherty did start the game. He also got an assist as well.
Yes. He got an assist. That's good. That's good. He started left back, didn't he?
I missed that.
He put the free kick in for Taylor to score, which there was a video posted. It was quite a good ball actually. So he did start and did get an assist.
Yeah. Good point. And Sig Beffy said, I agree with Stato. We're absolutely flying, and we don't really get the chance to talk about how well we're doing. So maybe this shows an exception. I apologise, guys, if a lot of you on there thinking, Jesus Christ, like we're an hour and 46 minutes in, and when's it going to end? And my concern is people don't want to watch a show back again. Yeah, if it's a half-hour show, 45-minute show, we get a lot more views. Because people look at the YouTube day after, go, I watched that. I got, on my lunch break or my commute to work. When they see 2 hours, they say, "Fuck that!" They're not interested, and it's noticeable. Our views aren't as much as what it is, and we want to try and get as much views as we can. What does more points make? Disco?
Prizes.
There you go.
Prizes.
We get more money. We get more money for our charity. So that's why we try to do it. Try to get more likes and more views. To kind of give more money to Cancer Research UK, of course. But yeah, all in all, positive for those players involved today. The scoreline was a bit shit. I'm sure Charlton are going to look at that as a win, as in they're beating us when it doesn't really matter. It's only a 21 game, isn't it? But it's a shame about Smallbone and Coburn signed on for such a long time. And I guess we are relying on the likes of Kundal and Ballo and Aziz now to stay fit, with the likes of Race Bangurians waiting on to break in, and Jack Howlands and your Zach Lovelaces. So we've got some cover there. We've got some players that I'm sure will get a lot of game time this season, because these guys can't play week in, week out, So it'd be good to have that kind of squad depth, I suppose, Guys, Saturday, looking ahead, we've got Oxford United away, play against Gary Rowett. We know what Gary Rowett's about, very defensive-minded. You need to make it very, very difficult for us to break him down. He'll play with a low block. He'll say to us, here, take the ball, have the ball. And that's not really our strengths, is it, either? But do you think we've got enough in our team, the likes of Ballo, Aziz, we talked about, Denor pulling the strings in midfield to hurt Oxford United on Saturday? Can you see us getting the win? Or a lot of guys in the chat, they're saying we can see there's been a bit of a slip-up here. 4 wins on the trot. Is this where it ends on Saturday? What's your thoughts, guys, on that?
I said I'll plug this now. Ben and I have done an October review, and we looked ahead to November as well, which is coming out at the back end of the week for anybody that's interested. And we were talking about the run of fixtures starting with Oxford on Saturday. And I might get pelters for this, and feel free to tweet me or come at me the next time I want to show when I say this. But this season, we've won at Norwich for the first time since the 60s. We've got an unbelievable away record, which is something we all don't do that. It usually takes us to January to get our first win away from home. We've got 23 points already before November. We even broke the curse that Jesper come up with the other day about we don't win a game after the international break. Well, we did that against Coventry.
Oh, right.
We've
there you
got
go, Jesper, if you're still listening.
We've got to stop with this. We're not. Gary Rowett and Neil Harris played us as the underdog that were kind of like scrapping at the table to try and achieve something. We are not that Millwall anymore. Alex Neil goes into every game. We don't fear anyone. We're not scared of anyone, and we go into places to win. So I think of course fans are going to be a little bit, oh, it's Gary Rowett. I understand why, but if we go there with the mindset we've been in over the last 4 games. And I know football's not won on paper, but we should go there and win the game. Don't be scared of what they're going to do. Concentrate on what we're going to do. And I really believe we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Guys, I just did a couple of comments with Beniko Baker. I actually bumped into him a couple of weeks ago. Whether he just said it's a cover up, I don't know. But he actually told me that he's damaged his hamstring. He's got a grade 2 tear in his hamstring. So I know a lot of people jumping on, he's left the club and blah, 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 blah. It's all rumours. None of it's true, But yeah, it seems like it's an injury. But I guess where he's not really involved a lot in the first team, he's probably not a player, unfortunately, that gets brought out into the media or spoken about. I'm sure there's loads of under 21 players that have got injuries that don't get spoken about either. But unless the guy's lying to me, the young lad, he said to me that he's got a tear in his hamstring. He's been out for quite a few weeks now, or about 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm guessing he'll be out for a little bit longer still. Sorry, guys.
Did he recognise you, Joe?
No.
Did he know who you were? No.
I don't think so. Although he might have done. I don't know, but he didn't say it anyway. Is what I'm saying.
Go on, Bex.
Yeah.
Oxford.
Oh no, I think we just need to continue on with that confidence going into the game, and I don't think there's any reason why they can't stick with it. It will be tough, but every game's tough. We never know what the teams are going to come with, do we? At the end of the day, and I think the more so that it's a Gary Rowett team, we do know how he plays. But
is it true, Bex, that apparently Alex Neil's never beaten Gary Rowett in a match?
It is true.
Is it true? I should have asked you.
11.
Yeah.
There we go. I haven't looked that one up. I didn't get that one.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry.
We are Gary. He's played against a Gary Rowett side 11 times, and he's actually lost 9 out of 11.
Wow, bloody hell!
Well,
sorry, Bex.
Tides are changing, aren't they? Times are changing.
Well, that's it.
All that.
We broke one record, didn't we, Bex? We broke one record with Jesper saying no win after the international break.
Exactly.
Now we're going to break another record.
Yeah,
so,
and they've been on a bit of a rocky road themselves, haven't they? They haven't. The results have been a little bit all over the place.
They're struggling,
they're going to want to be fighting, and they're going to be wanting to get in the points. So I think they're going to come and give us as good as they can get. But I just think as long as we stick with that confidence and stick with how we've been playing and not slip up, there's no reason why we couldn't go and take them down and get the points. So
how are we going to do that, though, guys? I mean, how are we going to do it? There's a low team. We haven't got really that.
Well, you're going to play, aren't you?
Well, I'm going to play the knee. I'll bring my boots with me just in case. Of course, I will. I will offer my services. I'll tell you, at the moment, I might get a fucking game. There's no Coburn, no Langstaff. AJ Matthews just limped off injured.
Yeah.
The poor Serb is on his own at the moment. I'm happy to come on for the last 10 minutes.
Got a goal, didn't he?
And score again. Yeah, exactly. If you need me. If you need a big lump up front, I'll be it. I'll do that.
Yeah. I think there's no reason why we shouldn't. So I think as long as the team comes out as they are and continue on, what have we got to lose actually? Like,
no,
other than Alex Neil not beating him.
No, of course. Do we go the same 11 if they're all fit? Or do we manage the minutes for Casper? I mean, you say he'll have a week off, won't he, to recover?
Mm-hmm.
Does Mitchell now start over Casper? Does he start over Del Boy, or does Del Boy keep his place? We'll be doing quite well with him at the moment. Do you see any changes, Disco?
I think unless Alex has got a different sort of game plan, I think he's been very vocal, hasn't he, about having consistency and starting to get, partnerships working and consistency, as I say, in the team. So, no, Joe, I would, barring injuries, I would see same team. How do we beat them? Look, we just play to our strengths. It's interesting. People have rightly said in the chat, the couple of games that we've lost at home, we had more 60% possession. Look, teams low block, come on in, come and beat us. Well, I wouldn't mind having a go at that now. The way we are now with Ballo and Aziz.
Are we going to play a little bit? Are we going to play a little bit of hot potato? Like it's almost like you have the ball. No, I want the ball. You have the ball. It's like both teams are going to say, "No, you want the ball. I don't want the ball."
Yeah. You first. You go first. Yeah.
Yeah, you have it.
No, I don't think we'll mind as much taking the initiative. But you said, didn't you earlier?
We're not the same team anymore. We've got some quality now, aren't we, in that team?
Yeah.
And I think now we'll be happy taking the ball and taking the position. But it's what we do with it and how we create those chances.
I think it's key that we do get that first goal. And even Alex Neil said, when we get that first goal at the minute, that's when we seem to build that confidence. So I think it's key that we go out and get that goal before they do, because I think these last
Alex said there, score first, win.
It seems quite a common theme at the minute for us. So I think that we have to go out and try and get that goal.
Bex, I'm pretty sure we hold a stat, and tell me if I'm right or wrong here, Stato, that we've got the best stat in the league for scoring first and going on to winning. I think we hold the highest stat. That when
I remember seeing that somewhere, reading it.
This was about 2 or 3 weeks back.
Yeah.
And I think we were like third or second or third. We're now, since then, we've scored and gone on to win the game. So I'm pretty sure that stat is now climbing even higher, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. I'm also going to put it out there, and I've just quickly looked this up to make sure that I'm right. Oxford average possession in the Championship at home is 49%. So it's not, it's even away from home. And we talk about the low block. Away from home, their possession is like 30-odd%. It's ridiculous. So obviously they just sit in and let everybody have the ball and do whatever they want. And people are assuming that they're going to do that. They're at home. Like they are the home team. They can't just sit there and let us have the ball. I wouldn't. I certainly, if I was an Oxford fan, I wouldn't be happy if my team was set up like that at home. So I think.
Sorry to interrupt there. So Alex has made another point there. I'm sure you got this in your locker as well. 0 points drop from winning positions for Millwall at the moment this season.
No, 100%. Every time we've taken the lead, we've gone on to win the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you score first.
Formula.
It's I think people are getting a little bit, and look, again, everyone's entitled to their opinion, of course, but I think everyone's getting a little bit caught up on the Gary Rowett thing. It's I understand it to a point. He was manager 2 years ago. We've had 3 managers plus caretakers since then. He it doesn't matter to him if he was playing Southampton, Millwall, Norwich, Leicester. He'd want to win the game on Saturday, regardless of who it was. And it's the same for Alex Neil. Alex Neil isn't thinking, I haven't beat this bloke. He wants to beat all 23 other managers in the league. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
It's one of those where I don't think Oxford are going to play quite how we're all sort of suggesting that they will. They're not going to play free flowing football. Let's be clear about that. But I think if we play our way and get our key players in the game, Ballo, even Luke Cundle's got a really, really important job on Saturday. He's got to be on it. He's got to create things out of tight spaces. You get them involved, we win the game. I think it's as simple as that.
Interesting point from Sig Beffy here. Just again, guys, I do apologise in the chat. There's loads of you make some fantastic comments. I'll tell you what, I wish I could read every single one of your comments. You'll make some fantastic points. But I tell you what, if we did read everyone's comments, we would literally be here till tomorrow. Like, and I feel so bad for you guys. But look, just to let you know, guys, you take the time to write those comments. Don't think it doesn't go unnoticed. We all read it. The guys read it as well, Stato and Disco, and And Bex, we all read it. I read it as well, and I do show it on the screen. So don't feel we're ignoring you. But it's just so hard to read all your comments. But now and again, we'll try to pick out a comment. And Sig Buffy just said here, just want to say, when was the last season when we had a few players that can ping a 40-yard pass with runners? That I think the fact that Alex is mixing. So it's incredible the way we're playing at the moment. You know, whether it's the players, Alex Neil's system, it's just so good to. You're right, it is amazing. So good to see, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not an easy game, but you know we should go there confident of getting a result. You know, at the very least, not losing. But look, we'd really like a nice little win to keep us right in amongst it. Yeah.
I also think, Joe, just before we perhaps move on, you talk about team selection. We have to remember that this week we don't have a game. Next week we've got 3 games in a week, including another away trip to Birmingham, which isn't going to be easy.
Yeah.
So I think
we might get some more rotation then, don't we?
and I certainly think that we've kept Aziz on and Ivanovic the last game for 90 minutes. They both obviously look shattered. I'm not suggesting that we take off our best players, but if we do go ahead, if we are ahead in the game on Saturday, I think you might see a little bit of rotation. And I actually think that the midfield 2 is going to be the most interesting decision, because the same 2 won't start at Birmingham, in my opinion. He'll rotate between the 3. So I don't think it'll be as cut and dry as keep the same team. I think they'll be certainly keeping an eye on what's to come as well.
Yeah, great point.
Well, but like I said, he will assess the opposition, won't he, and think, is Sacco best for this Oxford game or Birmingham, and vice versa. Yeah.
On that, Steve, if we're being honest, I don't think Derek is the right sort of player for Saturday, because if we are going to have a little bit more of the ball, you need the players that have been able to pick a pass. Billy Mitchell's been able to do it. Casper Denor's been able to do it.
If you watch Derek's highlights from when he's playing France, he was picking those 40-yard passes.
I get that.
Really well. Yeah, he can do it. Yeah,
he can. But maybe at Birmingham, when they might have a little bit more of the ball, and we need that defensive, strong midfield, that's when you bring him back in. Yeah, that's when you bring him back in. So I wouldn't be surprised, and it might come across harsh, and people might be disappointed. I will be. I love the guy, but I think you've got to remember that we've got a squad, and we've got a squad for a reason, and players will be picked because they're the right fit for that game, not just we're going to roll out the same team and expect it to work.
Do you remember that time when we played Ipswich? Was it last season? No, last season before when they were in the Championship, and we went down 3-0 at half time. And then their manager pulls off like 3 of their players straight away, rest them, pull the wingers off. I love us being in that situation. We're third in the league. We're pushing the top 2 for promotion at the moment. If we get 2-0 up or 3-0 up at half time, which I can't see happening, but it might happen, that's when you rest your players. That's when you probably take your Aziz off or your Ballo, whatever, or Ivanovic. Rest them for Tuesday, because we have to go again. We've got to be ready for it as well, Yeah.
100%.
Guys, we've hit the 2-hour mark.
Yeah,
I don't know whether I should say thank you or apologise to our listeners for being with us this long. It doesn't feel like 2 hours. It's literally flown by. It really has. And I just want to thank you guys, my co-hosts, for being on me this evening. Get up your evenings to sort of talk Millwall. Really do appreciate that. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to you guys to give your final words while we're waiting for you to give your final words and your score predictions for Saturday. Guys, in the chat, what's the score prediction? And as always, if it's any good, I'm going to have a little cheeky little flutter on it as well. So, Stato, start with yourself first, mate. Final words before we say goodbye, and your score prediction.
Just, I've got a couple of things from me. At the moment, on our screen, obviously, it's not the same as what the guys see on YouTube, just to be clear. We can see that there's actually 597 people watching this, and that's across Twitter, it's across YouTube, it's across all of the platforms. So, guys, thank you for staying with us. Obviously, we could
hit that like button. You're right, Dave Turner.
Yeah,
hit that like button.
We could do this, continue. We could stay and just keep waffling on. I know, people might get fed up after a while, but thank you for watching us. We really appreciate it. But they have stuck with us, Joe. The numbers are starting to just slowly go now. But
love that, Harry Chapman. Harry, thank you so much, mate. That's so nice. First time on here. Enjoyed it. Really kind of you, mate. Thank you very much. I hope you come back again next week. and
Thank
join
you,
the Chat with
Harry.
Chaps family. We're all one big family here. You soon get to know everyone on the chat. We're here week in, week out, and if it wasn't for these guys on the chat, we wouldn't have a show, and we wouldn't be making money for Cancer Research UK. So, cheers, Harry, for joining.
The second thing I mentioned it. I mentioned it earlier. Ben and I have a October review coming out at the end of the week. We are constantly asking for feedback. If there's anything you want us to do, anything you want us to discuss, if there's any way we can improve it, please let us know. We do look at all the comments. Joe mentioned that the comments that come through on the live, but any video that we post, we go through them. We talk about them in the chat. We do constantly try and make things better for you guys. So thank you very much for your support. If you can watch that later on in the week. And finally, I am going to on Saturday. I'm very, very much looking forward to it. And I'm going to go with a 2-0 Ballo. And I said last week that it was going to be Tristan Kramer. And he did score. He did score in that game. So this time I'm going to go for a little bit of an unusual one. I'm going to go Billy Mitchell. Ballo and Billy Mitchell to get on the score sheet this week.
Well done. Oh, psycho, psychic, sorry, psycho.
Bloody hell.
Well, psycho and psychic. He's a bit of both, isn't he? He's a bit of both. Cheers for that, Stato. I really do appreciate, mate, all your stats. And thanks for coming on, mate. Really do appreciate that. Bex, over to yourself. Anything you want to say to our listeners before you say goodbye?
So first off, I think I'll go with my score prediction, 2-0. Yeah. I'm thinking Zach Sturge, and I'm going to give Ivanovic the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. I feel like Sturge is he's been getting in. I feel like there's something coming. I feel like there's a goal coming for him. And like I said, Ivanovic, give him the benefit of the doubt. If not him, probably Aziz. It would be amazing. And yeah,
she hasn't even mentioned Kramer either.
I don't know who you're going on about. Anyway, over 2 hours now. So yeah, thank you for obviously sticking with us all and chatting. And sorry,
9-0 Femi triple hat.
9-0. Yeah, do you know what? It's been amazing. I love coming on and love chatting with you all. So
love having you on, Bex. Thanks.
Yeah, so like, subscribe, and all that. Donate to Cancer Research. But yeah, do you know what? I won't be there on Saturday, unfortunately. I will be doing my Cole Bates listen on the radio. Didn't get a ticket, but I love listening to a bit of Cole over a weekend. So yeah, it's
no worries.
Safe travels if you are going.
That's it. Hope to see you again soon, Bex. Thanks for coming on. Yep. And last but not least is the one and only Disco Steve. Disco, anything you want to say to our listeners before we say goodbye? So we've still got 569 of them in the chat at the moment. There's quite a lot of them still there. So honestly, they're amazing. So cheers for sticking with us this long, guys. Anything you want to say?
Absolutely. Yeah, listen, thanks for everybody for listening. And sorry?
We lost your audio for about 2 seconds there.
Right, you thought you got rid of me.
So well.
No, I was just saying, look, thanks for everybody for sticking with us for so long, and thanks for your input through the show. It is the show, and it is everybody's comments. And like you say, Joe, they might not all come up on the screen, but we do see them coming out and read them. And there's some brilliant comments, funny as well as educated, as well as
really good.
Great.
I just wish we could, though. I really wish we could read through everyone's comments, but just honestly, I'll be divorced. My wife said to me, "How long are you going to be?" I said, "Probably about an hour and a half." 2 hours in, 2 hours and 7 minutes, and we're still going.
Can I just point out? I think my mum's in the chat as well, and she's saying about Cooper to get one on target. Just seen her name ping up. So
really?
Okay.
What's her name?
Mummy
name on there?
Yvonne.
Yvonne. Hey, Yvonne, there you go.
There she goes.
Oh, look, just like your daughter, eh? Your daughter likes a bit of Cranmer. She likes a bit of Juicy Jake, does she? Eh? Yvonne, you dirty girl.
Brilliant.
Only joking.
I thought we introduced women onto this show to add a bit of diversity. It's going like grubby and
dirty. No. They're bringing the show down, Disco. They're bringing the show down, aren't they?
Yeah.
Honestly,
can't handle
Thanks for having me. You won't see me ever again.
Not at all. Not at all. You're welcome. That's great. But look, thanks to everybody for listening. It's been a great show. Enjoyed it. I was thinking 2-0, but look, to try and shake it up a bit, I'm going to go 2-1, and I'm going to go for a Miha Ivanovic double. There you go. He's going to bounce back with a
brace for the BFS.
Correct.
Bex, have you seen my goal yet?
No, I haven't. Can I see it?
Oh no!
Have you not seen?
You haven't got it there, have you?
Is that well?
I cannot believe you said you haven't got it there, have you? That's the worst tier ever.
I must say that was pre-season. So I was carrying a bit of timber. Wasn't quite match fit at the time.
But you know what? Bring your boots on Saturday just in case.
I say they need that, don't they? They need that kind of that target man up front who's going to get those goals. You know what I mean?
I could feel it coming, Sato. I could feel it sitting there like on the button, like I just got to press it.
No.
Look at Alex's comment. Have you got Alex's?
Where is it? Hang on.
That Angelo.
That one?
There, you know, up
Angelo.
Up one.
Oh,
up one.
Love to get Angelo. He'll only say kind things. He'll only say kind things. I'm sure.
Brilliant.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
Well done.
But, yeah, let's go. So you were saying your finals, weren't you? Saying
it's done now. Yeah, it's just done. He's played the video.
I can't top that, Joe. I can't top that. Good night, everyone, and thank you for listening.
It's not my fault. Blame Bex. She wanted to see it. She asked if we had it. You know, what can I say? Cheeky cow. Is that in slow motion? What? Honestly, Yvonne. Honestly, how dare you? I'm only joking.
I like the next one, like a prime Zian.
Where's that one? Like a prime Zian Fleming. There you go, Lions Raw. Always liked you, Lions Raw. You always knew you'd be my favourite. Stop encouraging Bex.
Yes.
Craig, you were there, mate, weren't you? I'm sure you were there. You saw it. You saw it in real life. You know how Bex missed Aziz's goal on Saturday? She was
he just made up for it.
Yes.
Well, no. The point I'm making is you didn't see it in the live, did you?
Yeah. No.
It's better in the live. A bit like Craig. Craig was there. Craig actually saw it in real life. So Craig, at the moment, honestly, like he can relive that in his head, can't you, Craig? Time and time again, you know.
He's having nightmares about it, probably.
He was one of the lucky ones. Oh my God, my son's on there now. Look, Kai, where's the shot that ended up on the moon?
So guys, just hold on a minute. So I now have the ability to
Craig was there for that one as well, to be fair.
To upload clips onto this that can be played on the show. The next time I'm on a live, Joe's miss will be primed, waiting to go, ready for you all. I've been waiting. I can't do it. I've been trying to upload it for the last 10 minutes and I cannot get it on there.
The only way that's going to happen, if I'm not here and I'm not doing the live, maybe you or Disco doing the live, and I'm not doing the control. But while I've got the controls, no one's going to see it. Okay? There you go. Prime Del Piero. Thanks, George. You know, he's right. That's right. Prime Del Piero. Prime Del Piero. So,
brilliant.
Yeah. We've got our beat up in Joe should be. Are you serious? Oh, God. So, no, but there's a guy called Harry. Who's Harry? He does Upton Mill sometimes, isn't he? Harry, I can't really say no. Top guy. He got me the assist, and I'm grateful for him for getting me the assist. But in that goal celebration, I think he weighs about 17 stones, and he jumped on me, and I swear, I think he pulled my back out. So when you see me do the celebration, I actually fall over to one side and lose my leg because I just wasn't ready for him to jump on my back like that. So I don't think he's on here watching, so I can say it. But yeah, honestly, that was
maybe skip the next comment.
What's that one?
No, that's his son. That's Joe's
Nursing
son.
Home League. That's Kai. That's my son. So Kai does all the editing for our YouTube shorts and our Twitter and our TikTok. He does all the little clips on there. So cheers to that, Kai. I'll let you off. But funny, the miss is the one I remember. Gary, how could you? How could you, mate? Don't worry, no one's ever going to see it. And when I do find that original clip, I'll delete it so no one can see it ever again. Right, guys, we've hit 2 hours and a quarter almost. So look, that's it. Thank you so much for all our listeners being on us. There's 592 of you in the live stream at the moment, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, our co-host this evening, thank you so much for being here as well. Really do appreciate Zimmer frames of Dan. Oh my God. Oh God, I love it.
It's out of control.
Love it. Right, I'm going to go before I get any more abuse. Guys, enjoy the rest of your week. I'm going to go on Saturday against Oxford. I was lucky to get ticket. Saturday, you're going to go as well, aren't you?
Yeah, over there.
And Bex, unfortunately, you can't. Oh well. Listen, hope to see you on Saturday, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great one. See you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, it's Steve Morrison here, and you're listening to Chat with Chaps, chatting Millwall, come rain or shine.